what is the Minotaur just gonna perform like some kind of ritualistic seppuku? Just cut off his own horns and stab himself with it.
You run the risk of sacrificing Grentuk and then Grentuk ascending as like a demon prince.
I think that's the two ending.
He's what all goblins aspire to be.
Tall. Let's set up. I just need my rulebook thing, which I should really have as a PDF.
Is Rakan coming?
Drac, he never said anything about not coming.
He's in the Roll20.
Yeah. So what about Jam? Is she gonna participate in the tournament?
I feel like she'd probably die.
Did you get a chance to listen to that, Bird? I know I sent you quite late.
I did, yeah.
Alright, cool, so you know what's happening. Bring up my notes.
What's up, Jack?
Is your microphone muted again? Was he the one who having that problem last week?
He's deaf and mute right now. Yeah, I had to ask some of you, like, how you thought it went last week, because everyone went quiet when they were laughing, and I just could not tell what the vibe was.
Is that why, Pot, when you were like, by the way, it wasn't me that designed this culture?
Well, no, because as I was reading out, I was just like, it was going very much a certain way, and I know Drac, like, in particular, doesn't really care for when worlds start getting super, like, into, like, sex and romance and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I didn't write this culture to be this way.
Did we ask who did, or?
Kirby did. His barbarian from years ago was his culture.
I think I only played with him in the sci-fi one, didn't I?
The Shadowrun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was good. You know, I was thinking, what's the name of that paladin, Alan, you played last campaign with?
Ricardo?
Yeah, Ricardo, yeah. It would be fun to have Ricardo in this kind of session.
Oh, Ricardo's starting a bunch of orgies with a bunch of women.
Yeah, he'd have been right at home.
Did Ricardo die? I don't remember if he died or not.
Essentially, his aging is like his immortality went away, so he just started rapidly aging at one point. Spent the rest of his life hanging out with the army of Duradums, telling them all the stories of his life, because all his memories came back as well.
I think I've got everything.
So is that how you tell who the real Duradan is? It's the one that has Ricardo just slumped over on his shoulder.
It's kind of morbid.
Yeah, imagine his bones probably started aging as well, so they've like turned to dust.
They've changed how like the windows, the scenes are organised in Roll20. I'm not sure I'm a fan. Like the icons, the tabs they've got laid out for it is neater than the way they had it previously, but they've got this big like empty space above it now that just takes up a quarter of the fucking window, and it serves no purpose. Once you get your thing sorted, Drac, we'll start.
Seems like Drac is having problems with his mic.
Yeah, no, drivers are a pain, man.
What would a shark person look like?
A shark.
Would they just be like a human with a shark for a head? Or...
I mean, Suicide Squad had the shark guy. That kind of worked out.
Why doesn't King Shark have a tail, though?
There was an old cartoon called Street Sharks.
Ah, yeah,
You
Street
could-
Sharks.
Can Google that.
Did King Shark not have a tail?
Yeah, I don't think King Shark had a tail.
I'm pretty sure he had a wee tail. I don't think it was big.
Wait, the street
No,
shark
King Shark
didn't have-
doesn't normally have a tail. Most of his designs, anyway.
That's weird.
They're a street shark, by the way.
Oh, right. I don't remember their names.
I love how they're like the street sharks are like 60% mouth.
I mean, that's what you think when you look at a shark, isn't it?
Well, if it's coming towards you, probably yeah.
The worst pun I've ever seen on a meme.
I mean, it's not the meme that made the pun. That's from the show.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that the fact that it's on a meme makes it worse.
They just have like 4 frames of animation in that.
Well, I mean, it's a gif.
I feel like that's probably how it actually was in the show, though. I like how the guy on the right seems to be talking, and the one on the left is just like, yeah.
That one is a hammerhead. He has got some problems.
Yeah, the hammerhead one just like it's like nightmare fuel. How disorienting must it be just to like walk around like that and have your eyes on the very sides of your head?
I mean, if your eye popped out, you could do that.
If my eye ever pops out, I'll try that.
I think that'd be a bit more disorientating, really.
Yeah,
Probably.
well, your brain's not used to it, yeah. If you're sure, Drac, I mean, I can wait another 5 minutes to see if you can fix it.
Yeah, I was going to get some juice anyway, so give me 5.
I feel like a dragonfly, mate. It's got 360 degrees eyesight.
You know, like, there's always a couple of degrees of your vision that are just taken up by your nose.
Yeah.
Imagine you've got like 360-degree vision, and just half of it is taken up by your body at all times.
But a dragonfly doesn't have anything in front of his eyes, so it's just like everything in front of it you can see and around.
Yeah.
I don't know if dragonflies can they see right? Can they still see directly behind them?
I don't think they can see behind them. I meant 360 isn't like, you know, above to the side and below. It's because they fly in all
Dragonflies with eyes,
directions, so
man.
they have to be able to see every direction they go in. Maybe they can't see
Yeah,
behind,
because
I don't
most
know.
pieces of fly have hemispherical what's it called? Essentially, they can see 360 degrees. Because each eye creates a perfect 180 around their body. Multi-composite, that's the word I was looking for.
Multipass.
Yeah, flies can has full 360 degree vision.
Which is why my cats have such trouble catching them.
Well, supposedly don't flies see things happening in slow motion or slower than they're actually happening?
They process it quicker, so yeah, it seems to be like slower than we kind of process it. Allows them to react faster. You can do that too, though. Just like smoke way too much weed.
Alright, I'm halfway there.
I really hate that when that happens.
Well, when everything seems like it's going slower than it actually is.
And it's like a slideshow almost, man. That's fucking horrible.
Then you just gotta go outside and watch a tree for a few minutes.
Well, I was outside when I did it, but
Oh. Then get some paint and watch paint dry.
I just drowned out with alcohol. It's all about the balance.
You gotta balance your uppers and downers.
Exactly. Oh, it's your back, Alan, right?
Yeah, I was back.
Right.
As soon as I heard the thing about flies, I was back.
Oh, this is a conversation I can get into. Okay, so we were at the city, and I've forgotten its name already. Tanidama. You just went to the temple, you spoke to the high priest. What's this cat doing behind me? And then, People had escapades and adventures, and you all ended up at breakfast together. I think that's where we left it, wasn't it? Just after breakfast table. Oh no, you and Fee had a face-off. A spar.
Yeah, no. Shaky's now got a big gash and bruise on his chest. Thanks to Fee.
But you did floor Fee in front of all the big assorties.
Yeah.
They felt suitably justified betting against Fee, the scrawny little boy. Maybe now, having been shown where the floor is, he will think twice about entering this competition as part of the festival. Because clearly it's too dangerous for someone of his size and stature.
He can do it. I'll win my armor back. We'll see.
Oh yes, definitely. I'm planning on betting myself.
I don't think Raz is aware of the ninja stuff yet.
Does Raz even know that ninjas exist, or are they just rumors for him?
I mean, you'd have heard of like assassins, saboteurs, which effectively the same thing. I don't know if you've heard of the actual clans themselves, because they are secretive. I imagine not many people have heard of them. Kind of defeat the purpose.
But
Like, I
working as a
imagine-
mercenary.
Oh yeah, I imagine he's ran into them before, worked with them before, but never put two and two together that they're the ones who the rumors are about. Because Raz is careful. He's not smart.
I mean, it's a big world. The chances of actually running into the handful of them, or however many there are, is probably not high. And if you did, you would not know it was them anyway.
It's kind of funny to think that Dakan, despite being how he is, might be the more conspicuous side of the ninjas.
I mean, Jakan being a good guy at all is just kind of weird.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go.
It's all about a redemption arc.
Was it just the flux capacitor?
Yeah, totally the flux capacitor. Yeah, that's what it was. No, I had audio enhancements on to help with my problems with the audio, and I guess when I plugged in the new mouse, that caused issues somehow. So as soon as I turned those off, it just started working. Don't ask me.
Is that a Russian mouse?
No, it's a Vesa Mamba. Don't know.
A Chinese one.
My Death Adler is 8 years old, and the right click started going out on me, so I just got a new one. I have a new headset coming in too, so fuck it.
So,
Let me get the game launched again.
Shiki and Fee were sparring. Raz was watching because you were gambling your armor. What's Jam been kind of doing this whole time while you've been in the city? Or has she just been tagging along with everyone?
So they met with... Oh no, they've not met with the High Feast yet, right?
They have.
I've forgotten which one was which then.
They went into the temple, they spoke to the high priest. The high priest kind of took... Well, Fee followed Shiki and Drac, but he took Shiki and Drac off to the side and kind of spoke to them about, the mission and the tablet and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That rings a bell now. But either way, then she wouldn't have met, or wouldn't have spoken to them on her own.
I mean, Jam was obviously there when the mission was given out initially, so I'm assuming Drac and Shiki are not going to hide the details of the meeting with the priest away from Jam. So Jam was maybe present when that was all happening.
Yeah, I think rather than be as involved with this, the warrior side of it, she'll have been thinking, if they are warriors for them to survive this long, they must have like some way of like curing wounds.
Yeah.
So she'll be looking into like what they've come up against,
So-
and if perhaps there's something that can help her condition.
Yeah, so when they were in the temple, Raz went off and checked out this fountain that a bunch of them were attending, and that actually healed him for a wound. So, yeah, if you were kind of off wandering around looking for that kind of stuff, you would have found this kind of ritual they were doing with this water coming from a fountain out of an idol on the wall. And this was a kind of healing ritual that they were performing, which clearly is happening on some sort of magical level. I don't think we gave the idol deity a name at the time.
No, I tried asking what the name was, and we changed scenes.
I remember there was one that
Like
you-
immediately we changed things. He's like, yeah, let's go back to the other guys.
I remember there was one which, like, a name you were referencing, but I can't remember what it was now.
I
thought it
know
had
what I
human-
wanted to base it on, because I wanted to base on a deity that we do have. Hang on.
'Cause I remember the Moomin came up, but there was another one which had like a moon or something in its name.
Armuna is their... I mean, you could ask the priests and stuff and they would tell you. Armuna is like the head of the pantheon. He is a jackal-headed god, and he is the one who holds the balance of life. He weighs the scales of souls, and he takes acts and delegates powers to different deities in order to maintain balance in the universe.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay, deities. These are not all of them. Yerna, that's what I wanted to call her. Yeah, she's like a river goddess, and she's about renewal, rebirth, life. And so she's one that practitioners of medicine will worship and ask for blessings in order to heal the sick. Give me a second, she's locked this cat in here with me, I need to let it out.
Oh yeah, and we no longer have to worry about Naoki.
He is hopefully safely traveling to a safe place. Safely.
Just cut to Naoki, and he's just barfing in a barrel on the back of a carriage.
I mean, if that's all that's happening to him, then he's probably lucky.
You're supposed to cut to him and he's in like a quicksand in the middle of the desert being surrounded by like insects or something.
He's traveling through the desert. There's many risks. But he didn't. He did say he didn't want to travel on a boat again. So
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Shiki tried his best to get him any sort of transport that wasn't a boat.
His group is climbing up a cliff, and he's just tied to someone dangling off.
That is probably a safer than alternative, though.
Which is what? Snooze now.
No, him climbing.
But
He was at first, but then he lost his grip.
yeah, Jam, so you'll learn that this deity's name's Yerna, and it's a goddess that they worship in order to heal people.
So what is the scene that we're at just now? Are we still at the...
So everybody had shared breakfast together with Medal and his family, and then Fee and Shiki did a spar, and the Zoti were very interested to see the outcome of this sort of practice battle between the two of them. So that's where we kind of are. They're just sort of on the outside of the buildings in the dirt, or the sand, I suppose. And they've just finished sparring with each other, and Shiki got the better of Fee. I don't know where Drac was when the fight was on, if he was doing something while everyone was distracted.
No, I was watching too. I didn't go do nothing.
And I think as well, Jam, even though this is like in the desert, this is a very natural environment. It's not polluted, it's not corrupted or anything like that. So there is a lot of kind of fey energy around you as well, although it's obviously not the kind that you are attuned to.
Yeah. So, with the competition coming up and with these two, I assume, participants, I don't remember if Shiki actually decided if he was joining or not. But with the two of them not completely tip-top condition, would it be possible for Jam to like observe and help out one of the healers to try and learn from them?
I
Like,
mean,
while they tend to these two.
yeah, so Shiki, was it a gash you had or a bruise? I can't remember.
I think it was bruising to chest, if I recall.
Yeah, severe bruising in the chest.
Yeah, so after your little sparring, the grandmother comes out. She's wrapped a very loose, almost transparent shawl around herself to try and give her some modesty. And as she comes out, she approaches you and she starts, holds out her hand, and it's all covered in this glistening ointment. For your bruises.
Thank you, milady.
She's going to essentially rub your chest.
And she go, allow this. He's used to this sort of attention.
I think the fragrance from the ointments, the oils, are quite powerful, but quite pleasing at the same time. You can feel like a kind of warm fuzziness on the skin where the bruise is. You can recover a pain if you had one.
So, are you a herbalist yourself? Or do the Azotha not have, well, dedicated healers?
The priests are the ones who would take care of the more severely wounded, but many of us of the older generation have a trick or two up our sleeves when it comes to medicine. And a few other things, she says, throwing an eye towards Fee.
But you're a warrior race, aren't you? Do your priests travel with your warriors? Madala was on quite a long journey.
We value the perfection of the body and the spirit. And to that end, medicine is a very important part of the structure.
So did he have some with him?
She kind of throws a look over to Medalla. You can't tell if it's like concern or annoyance, even. There's a kind of strange look she throws him. And she just says to you, Medalla has travelled on his own for some time. I do not know what he is, how he has carried himself during his adventures.
I'll ask
He's
him.
shown nothing but
myself.
bravery and honesty to us. I'd highly recommend his character, from what we have seen in our travels together.
What are you saying, bud?
I'm saying I'll ask him myself later. But one more question. Some of the creatures that we've come up against have had quite a corruptive influence that regular medicine won't help. Do you know if the Azote have anything that helps with that? Demonic influence, for instance.
You speak of powers from another world. These are matters
Yes.
for the priesthood and for their magics bestowed upon them by the deities.
And you don't know of any medicine which can stave off its effects for a time at least.
It rubs their chin a little bit. I've not heard of such things, but perhaps someone more learned in the arts of the arcane arts would be able to help you more.
Thank you. I'll see if I can catch one of your piece, maybe at the competition.
Yes, there will certainly be some on hand, as some of the competitions can get rather rough. And then when she says that, she also looks over to Medalla.
Jam, I imagine, him's giving a similar look at all of our companions.
Since Drac is usually sort of hanging back and watching people, I think, Drac, you would notice the dynamic between Medalla, his father, and his brother, although they're sat beside each other and kind of acting like, you know, guys watching a sports match when they're watching the fight. There is definitely some sort of tension going on between the three of them that's kind of like just simmering beneath the surface.
I don't have any context for that, though, do I?
No, not beyond what you've known so far.
Yeah. I guess I would be like, I would just keep an ear out since I have better hearing, just in case I catch anything. They might be whispering to each other later down the road.
Do I hear anything from sitting where I am? Since I was right next to them, gambling with them over the fight.
Yeah, I mean, they're not like whispering to each other, it's just like their body language and, you know, the way they're keeping distance from each other and things like that. Just
Right.
things that Drac probably noticed because he's like watching, studying people all the time.
Right. I just mean like later on, maybe when they think no one's
Yeah.
around, kind of deal.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, after the fight, Medalla kind of like gets up and, you know, says to you, Raz, and about your friends and how they fight and how he looks forward to seeing them, you know, in the ring, in the arena. Although perhaps young Fee should, you know, think better of it. And then he's going to walk away and he doesn't say goodbye or any greetings or share a joke with his brother or his father. He just kind of like turns around and walks back in the building. So, what do you want to do now?
After the sparring with Shiki, Fee will disappear and he's gonna climb the rooftop somewhere. And he's just gonna sit and do nothing until the competition.
He's just regaining focus and such.
Yes.
Okay, what about the rest of you? Do you have anything particularly you want to do, or because it's another couple of days to the festival, right?
I think I'll like just fall back and follow Mandala then, since I noticed the weird atmosphere, and I'm paranoid.
So do you want to spend the next couple of days just kind of tagging along, following him, and try to figure out what's up?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't confront him the first day.
Sure. What about the rest of you?
So these people don't really use money or trade, or they just kind of trade for stuff or stuff like that, right?
They definitely have like wealth. Some of them, you know, obviously have grander buildings and homes than others. So they do have like a system of that, and they do trade, but it's not priority. You know what I mean? How much stuff you have, material goods, is not nearly valued as much as how well you can fight. You know what I mean? Or what your physique looks like.
All right, that's perfect. I want to go find a blacksmith and ask them if they can just make me some armor.
So, yeah, we'll cover that as well. What about Shiki and Jam? What do you want to do over the next couple of days here?
I think kind of in a similar vein to Raz, Jam was quite impressed by Madala's bowmanship when they were coming over. So she'll be trying to find out if they have like a particular method of training for that, or a particular way they construct their bows,
Okay.
and see if she can learn anything from them.
Right. What about you, Shiki?
Shaky's just gonna converse with Medala's family, get to know them a bit, you know, being a nice guest, thanking them for being such gracious hosts, serve them tea and things while just resting up for the upcoming tournament.
Integrate and enjoy yourself, kind of.
Yeah, ask them about their culture, you know, old pastimes and everything, their history.
Okay, we'll do the easy mechanical ones first. So that's Raz. So Raz, looking around the market and the vendors and the what they call the tradesmen, it becomes clear that although they value, you know, fighting and such, they do not seem to put much value in armor. This is definitely something that they don't have a lot of. They don't make a priority, and perhaps because of the heat out here, they certainly do not use like heavy plate armor. A lot of it is even more kind of ceremonial, and it's not that practical in like an actual battle. But they do have skilled craftsmen, so if you need them to make you something particular, they can do that, but it'll be a higher cost than it would normally be.
I guess I'll have to wait until after the tournament. I don't have any money.
It's been this entire campaign.
So
Shiki hasn't paid me yet.
So you have been here before, Raz, so I think you know that if you like need something, although they won't just like give it to you, you can like engage in a combat or a competition of some sort to try and prove that you're worthy to like give it to.
Let me check the gear list, see if there's anything I need.
Oh, so I'm just imagining their armor as being like bikini armor.
Pretty
Even
much.
for the guys.
Yeah.
It's just like a single plate over the chest. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
so I mean, if you're like asking around, you know, they like to show off their physique when they're fighting. Armor is even seen as a little cowardly because you're not putting your skills right to the limit and testing how well you can dodge and parry and such. Now,
Mankini armor has come to mind.
sorry, now you guys did see Medalla had armor, but he has been away on like proper adventuring, so the practicalities of survival, you know, come into it, you would guess, for him at least, when he's been outside the city.
I'm just imagining Raz getting Mankini armor now.
I'm just imagining barbarians running into battle in banana hammocks.
I mean, why would they even bother with banana hammocks? They would just go naked.
Alright. I want to try to either find a harpoon or a pistol. See if any merchants have those weapons. And
So no pistols because they don't have gunpowder here. For whatever reason, they just don't seem to like stock it or trade it. But a harpoon or some kind of polearm you could certainly get hold of.
Alright, so then I'll who's the trader who's selling it?
So I mean, like many Assorti, he is a very tall, very broad-set man with a grand physique, bulging biceps and muscles just popping out all over his body. He has his hair kind of like shaved at the sides and then pulled back into a long ponytail. and he is wearing nothing except like an ivory necklace. But he will have like an array of pole arms available. But when you approach and you tell him you don't have any money, he's like, well, if you were a worthy warrior, I could part with one of my weapons.
How can I prove my worth? And Raz just flexes.
Well, you can engage me in battle, of course. If you can best me in a round of fighting, I will gladly give you one of my weapons. But it's been a long time since someone has bested me, ha ha ha.
Then where do you wish to battle? Should we have a friendly bout here upon the street for all these fair folk watching, or move to the arena and raise higher stakes?
Well, if you're comfortable, I do have business to attend to today, so let's have it right now. And he like pushes back the stall, the table part of the stall, and you can see like there's marks in the ground where this has been like dug into the ground several times in the past before, and he starts like marking out a circle.
I'll just Raz will just set his weapons down outside the circle, and get into like a wrestling stance.
The weapon vendor just like cricks his neck left and right and like snaps his knuckles and does like a squat, which might be a little uncomfortable for anyone. People, children, women, men in the market start to gather around the ones that find, it kind of interesting. You can see the kids kind of like taking bets on each other, like who's going to win. And I think for the children especially, they haven't seen a Minotaur before, so although you're large and you've got these horns, like they just don't really know what to expect from you. The vendor, after he's done his squats, he gets up and like pulls his calves back for a couple of leg stretches, steps into the ring, kicks up some sand and like picks up a handful and throws it over his shoulder, and then gets into a crouching position. So are you ready, Minotaur?
Just slam my foot against the ground a few times and let out a snort and say that I'm ready.
So Jam, you are looking for a bow, or are you just looking for where they practice their archery?
Just looking to find out about it, like if she can learn like, some skill from them, or if there is some particular construction to their bows that makes them more effective, if they could kind of downscale it for her.
Okay, so I mean, you'll be able to find people practicing archery easily enough. You'll be able to find a vendor that's selling the bows, but you want to actually know how they're made.
It's mainly like if there is some like special construction or some special way they practice, or if they're just generally good archers. Or maybe it was just Madala was a good archer.
No, I mean, you'll be able to find groups of people, women teaching children, groups of women practicing together, couples that are like practicing together. So all over the place, people are always like practicing their weaponry. Whether it be bows or sparring with swords or even just going at each other with bucklers or staves. All over the place there are people engaged in some sort of like sparring, training, especially with the festival coming up.
And was the implication that the archers were mainly women, or was it like pretty balanced?
No, I was just imagining, there'll be like, somebody's aunt is just like teaching a whole load of children and training them. And different groups of people just sort of like training together. But yes, I mean, I think you get the impression that because this is such a large part of their culture and their pastime, just with that much practice, that's how they become so skilled with a bow, as well as the other weapons that they're practicing with. So there's no like special construction with the bows, apart from obviously their size to accommodate the size that they seem to grow to.
And Jam will approach one of the like people teaching it and just ask, so like the Azote seem to like shun cowardly ways of fighting. I was curious, why is it that bows aren't considered cowardly?
So
You
this
can
is,
attack an opponent from like, so far away they might never see you.
so this is a woman and she just has one eye. She doesn't wear an eye patch. You can just see the big scar where her eye's been like gouged out and the sort of marks either side of it where a blade or something's been stuck into her skull. She says, there's nothing cowardly about using a bow. It demands a great deal of skill. Have you ever tried
Instead-
hunting with a bow before?
Long ago, yes, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Yes, it is not an easy thing at all. It requires a lot of strength, stamina, patience, and timing, which is above all important in battle. No, there's nothing cowardly about attacking a target from a distance, and many times that is most practical in war. But your enemy has just as much chance of attacking you at range as you do them. What would be cowardly would be to sneak up on them from behind.
So, do you make your presence known before you fire?
Of course we do. Children, she shouts, and all the kids kind of get up and start like slamming their chests and like shouting at the top of their lungs, deafening you with like little small battle cries.
And then, what do the Azote think of magic? I know you have healers, but I don't think I've seen anyone practicing more destructive forces.
No, offensive magic is not allowed by our religion. It puts one at an unfair advantage, and it makes no use of the person's physical capabilities.
And Jam like seems to be in consideration for a moment, and then says like, "What do you think of weapons like these?" And she just like, pulls back a part of her clothing and reveals like the brace of 6 daggers she has. They seem significantly smaller than anything the Azote use, and the fact that I can store them seems to go against your philosophy.
She like picks one up between her large fingers. It's like, is this for cutting fruit?
If the fruits can fight back, I suppose.
I mean, it may be practical for you, little one, but I'm afraid something like this would not be much use for an Azote. Although in principle, I don't think a blade would have any issue for anyone to use.
Just as long as they know it's there.
Of course, it's not right to attack an opponent from behind, take them by surprise. You must give them a fighting chance.
She's just hoping they don't see the can. Yes, thank you for letting me know. Do you mind if I practice with you for a bit? The archery, not the knives.
No, of course, we would love to see your skills on display. Therefore, follows an afternoon of somewhat being shown up by the skills of all the children, who are obviously far younger than you. Drakan, so you follow Medalla in the first instance when he leaves his brother and his father. He retires to, well, he kind of like wanders around the estate as it is. There are rooms that have like collections of armor and weapons, tapestries depicting battles and great deeds. They're obviously like family heirlooms and artifacts, as well as just like a sort of garden area that they spend some time in. And he seems to be just kind of like taking it all in by himself for the majority of that sort of day, before he meets up with everyone for their meal in the afternoon, where he's like sharing a joke and they're telling stories with each other and just being jovial. But over the next couple of days, you notice that Medalla apart from occasionally when he seems to have a private conversation with his father, he doesn't interact with his brother unless you're all like sat down for dinner or you're in the presence of the guests. The rest of the time, he seems to be kind of left alone. And apart from the servants coming up now and again, he doesn't really interact with any of these other people.
Okay.
Would you make the extra effort and like try to spy on him when he is in a private room with his father?
Oh yeah. If it's not like if I could hear through the wall or something, then that's definitely what I would try to do.
You'll give me a sneaky roll then.
6.
Yeah, nobody's either they don't care or they're just not expecting anyone to be doing anything devious like eavesdropping. So although they're like in a room on their own, that's as far as the precautions go for them. And you're quite easily able to overhear the sort of conversations and the things they're talking about. It becomes clear that the father is displeased at best with his son. Despite, Medala's argument that he's came back with many riches and he's done great many deeds and brought a lot of honour to the family. There's a huge disagreement about the fact that Medala left behind a son, fatherless. And that son appears to have not grown up in a favourable manner to the family. And although it's not clear what's happened to the son, it's clear that this is like the source of the contention between them. And somehow Medala's brother is at odds with Medala because of it. I think with the full result that you got as well, you learned that Medala is to face his brother at the arena. And it is more than just a test of who's the strongest. This is like a very serious battle that they are to engage in. And this is something that the father is just upset, not pleased with at all.
Oh shit. Family drama. Alright, that's all it was?
Yeah.
Okay. My paranoia is now satisfied.
Yeah, he does not make any mention at all of like you being a shadow person or anything like that.
Oh, I was more worried about the tablet, but yeah, that too.
That too, yeah. Obviously, he's got more personal things on his mind.
Yeah, alright.
So Shiki, I mean, a lot of time you're, everybody's very welcoming and hospitable. What kind of things do you want to ask the different family members about their culture? That we might not have
Just
covered
like the
already.
history of, just like things like the history of their their family, like where the Azotti like started from, because we heard about the revolt against slavers. Like, learn more about that. Things
Yes.
like that.
So whoever the people were that had them enslaved, they refused to like name them. They just say the masters that will not be named, or those that were overthrown. Those kind of terms. It's obviously a very deep-seated, injury on the civilization. But you learn that they were once all not just enslaved but captivated under a spell, and it was to do with the tablet. And when they were able to revolt and claim the tablet, the spell was broken and all of their people were freed. And that's when they overthrew their masters and claimed it. And everything that's been built here, everything that was once their home further out in the desert, they did not build it themselves, but the master race did. They simply have inherited it. And this wasn't always a desert, and further out in the desert, what used to be an extremely fertile land. But over time, it dried out and died off. And as it did, they became a desert people. And they moved further east towards the Gota River. and just inhabit these kind of what used to be sort of border towns, which are now border cities. But because of, you know, how they came to be about and how they were enslaved previously, they abhor slavery of any kind. And they're also quite isolationist because, you know, they don't want to risk something like that happening again.
Well, Shiki will be showing like kindness, compassion, sympathy for everything. They'll also like show complete animus towards the enslaving culture before, because that goes against his values.
But yeah, I mean, of course, very much based on the ideals of, you know, the perfection of physical and mental attainment, and, you know, a person's worth is determined by how much the effort they've put into like perfecting themselves. You come to learn that they don't eat meat, really. They will drink, but that's because it's something that like they recover from quite quickly because of their physique.
So Medal is a slightly weird one who likes to drink to excess.
Yes, he is. Yeah, you get that. I think from talking to the grandmother, especially, you know, you get an idea that he, not just because he's been away, but he's always been the sort of black sheep of the family, and done things a little differently.
I'll still keep talking up Medalla to like his grandmother and other family members I'm talking to.
I think you would also notice that although they're very friendly and all that kind of in front of you all, you know, behind closed doors or when they don't think you guys are around or watching, that tension is there between Medal and the rest of the family. Not just his brother and his father, but any of the other nephews, nieces, cousins and stuff that come and go.
As I'm like talking him up, I'll be talking about how he protects the weak and how he looks out for people, how caring he is, which might help, but also might make it worse since he's abandoned his son.
Definitely mixed feelings, especially protecting other people can also be interpreted as propping up people who are weak when they should be doing it themselves.
Yeah. Maybe.
I get the feeling that no matter what you say, it won't make as much of a difference. It's got to come from Mandala himself. That seems to be the kind of people they are.
We've just got to be ready so we can pool our money and bet on their blood feud.
I don't think it's a blood feud. I'm pretty sure it's more about honor of some kind.
Yeah, it's more of an honor duel, I get the feel as well. But I'll just have a nice peaceful time with the family, learning all these things.
Yes, I mean they're very hospitable. They love to like show off how good they are at things. But it's not really arrogance as such. I mean, they're just very proud of what they've achieved and how much effort they've put into things. So they're always like flexing, doing poses, doing little tricks of dexterity and balance and focus and strength. You know, when the uncles and aunts come in, you know, they're showing off all their kids and getting their kids to like flex and you know, spar with each other and show off. I imagine there's a lot of interest in your technique and fighting style as well, because it's something they probably haven't seen before.
The thing with Shiki is his whole style is the opposite of that. It's very about being reserved, not showing off, being very humble.
Yeah, so they're the fact that you're like not wanting to show off and they think you're just being extremely modest and you must be highly skilled and you've got like such wonderful things you could show off. You know, so that's just going to make them more interested. And you've probably got like crowds of the children like following you around, imploring you just to show them, you know, a move or two.
Shiki's just like, oh no, children, it's like, it's nothing you should be so boastful of.
It's just quizzical looks, because they're just like, why not? Why wouldn't you show this off?
I'm totally gonna be walking around the house tripping over everything.
But yeah, so I mean, you'll have a pretty pleasant time, you know. They do their best to be accommodating. And they just don't seem to have any, like, snobbery about things. You know, you proved yourself in a battle against another person. That seems to be won you a lot of favour in their eyes as well. Don't know about the rest of the group, but apart from Raz, they love Raz.
I'm gonna be doing everything I can to make them think the least amount about me. I'm gonna be tripping. I'm gonna act like I ain't got no balance.
Yeah, I think the mood around you is probably going to be like an annoying house guest, and they can't wait until you leave.
I'm kind of curious what they think about Fee, considering he just lost and then went off to meditate.
I imagine they just think he's like wounded pride in terms of pride, and that's why he's like hiding.
Yeah, all the way till the tournament, Fee will not show himself. So he's gone. He's somewhere hiding.
Yeah, I mean, they may ask now and again, you know, is your friend doing okay? But I think they just assume that he's just like, his pride has been hurt. And he's just kind of embarrassed to show himself after that. But Raz, you and the weapons guy collide in the middle of this ring. And it's just like two mountains meeting at speed. Like you can hear the bones in either of your collarbones, your chests, sort of like cracking with just the force of slamming into each other. But this man is very much your equal, if not more so, in terms of strength. So once you've kind of got each other in a grapple, what'd you do?
I want to try to hook my arm beneath his knee so I can try to lift him above my head.
I guess it's just force, right? Unless you went trying clever.
I don't know. I imagine it'd be force since I'm trying to do that while still pushing back against him.
Sure. Okay, give me a first roll then. Okay, you're going to be able to do that. So, like, you're hooking around the leg, pulling him upwards to knock him over.
Yeah, to try to throw him out of the ring.
Sure. You managed to get him up and like, so he's going to like fall over on the ground, but he manages to use his body weight to kind of spin himself around and brings you down on the ground with him. So now the two of you are lying on your side, just at the edge of the circle.
I guess I'll try to get him into a headlock or an arm lock or something.
Submission hold that you're going for.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to go for force again? Or are you doing this carefully so he's not able to counter it?
I guess I'll try to be careful about it.
Yeah. Yeah, you realise that in just a match of brute strength here, this could go either way. So you're having to try and be a little more cautious about it. And pick your timing right. So you manage to slip him around and get him an arm lock. And then he tries to reverse that, but he kind of like misjudges as he does it, and you're able to spin around and get him in like a face lock.
Haha. Do you submit?
That probably goes on for a good 30 seconds, longer than it would with anyone else you've ever met. But then he realises he just can't get out of it and he taps out.
I'll let go of him and help him to his feet.
He wipes his face, he's bleeding a little bit. He's got a big smile on his face though, and he like pats you on the shoulder. You're indeed a worthy combatant, my friend. Certainly deserving of one of my fine weapons. Here. And he like reaches behind the canvas and pulls out, it was a harpoon you wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Pulls out this big giant spear that is, I mean, you're like 6 foot tall, right? A little more than that, 6.5.
Well, I imagine, is large size mean I'm larger than normal minotaurs? Or...
It means you're large, so you're larger than a man. So you probably would be like head and shoulders above a man.
So like around 7 feet then, I guess.
Sure. Okay, so this spear is probably just a little bit taller than you. Probably like an extra foot or so. But you pick it up and you can feel it's very finely balanced. And you can like spin it around in your hand quite comfortably, and you kind of judge the sort of javelin throwing stance with it.
Oh, worry not, friend. I shall use this weapon in many glorious battles to come.
May victory be yours, my friend. Be sure to return and tell us of your great deeds.
Of course, of course. Now, where'd Grintook go? I'm starting to get hungry.
Grintook's over at the spice stall in the market, and he's like buying a varied selection of spices. As usual, he's just like arguing with the trader. I think probably before that day is out, you have to do a couple of other honor battles where you're like standing in as his champion.
Sorry, what happened?
Grintook, as usual, is like arguing with the trader and anyone else he comes across. And by the end of the day, you probably have to stand in a couple of times for him in duels.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And as usual, making your way back to the home, he's just like grumbling about how these stupid fat authorities are like always trying to rip him off. And how he just can't get a good rabbit here.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've seen a single rabbit or any kind of meat since we came into the city.
He's kind of grumbling and he's like chewing on a bit of fruit. No, he's just got this nasty fruit. I found a rat, but it was so skinny it was barely worth eating.
Well, if we don't get any meat soon, then Rats just gives Grintook a side eye. I'm sure I could work something out.
Grintook's just kind of like nods to you. He goes, "Yeah, we should eat the kids, right?" Although he doesn't have much meat on his bones.
Don't worry. I've got something planned. But this, he just reaches over and just pats Grintook's head. It's probably a little bit too hard.
Grintook's just like oblivious to that reference. But yeah, those couple of days will pass. No other sort of like incidents or anything like that. And the atmosphere of the city, starts to turn up a notch. You can see banners and flags and stuff being hung up across the streets. People are like hanging things out of their windows and across their doors. Great wreaths of like desert flowers. These very sort of like pale, pinky looking flowers with a white centre. And you can see priests going around up and down the street, giving blessings. There's like idols of the different gods being paraded around, and people are like coming up and touching it and kissing it and putting necklaces over it. And everywhere you look, people are doing exercise, like just pumping iron really hard. That morning, these are all like gathering breakfast, and Medala's family's not there. It's just Medala and you guys. And everyone else is really excited and in a great mood. And although Medala had talked up how much he was looking forward to this festival, he seems very down in spirits at the table this morning. So do you say anything to him? Because he'll just quietly kind of eat his breakfast on his own, deep in his thoughts.
Was this the morning of the competition that you said?
Yes, this is the morning of it.
I think it would be even more unusual that if no one else is going to, Jan will approach and ask, like, are you not looking forward to the contest?
Puts on a big smile as he puts his his spoon down. Oh, I'm very much looking forward to seeing the competition today. So many great combatants and battles. My understanding is you're all participating, yes?
I've been persuaded to put my hand in the ring.
I don't remember signing up for it myself.
Ah, well, that's understandable. I thought you would be entering in the archery, though, no?
I was thoroughly shown up by some of your children the other day.
Just get a smile goes down and he just like pats you on the shoulder. It's like, it's not always about being the best, my friend. It's about being the best you can be.
Well, if I've already been signed up by one of you, and she does a glance to her party, then perhaps I'll still join if I can.
Oh, I thought everyone wanted to sign up. So I just had Grintook write everyone's names down.
But does something else have your spirits down there?
Oh no, I'm just mentally preparing myself for what has to be done.
He gives him a curious look, then asks, "Which are you signing up for?"
Just one fight. Just one duel.
Well, let us know when it is. We'll come watch.
Of course, my friends. I would have it no
We'll
other
support
way.
you all the way, Mr. Bell.
Thank you, Lord Abbey. I do appreciate your support. I'm also looking forward to seeing what you have to show us. I know there's been a...
Nice.
On you go.
If he's not going to be particularly forthcoming, then she'll just assume it's not her place to pry.
What were you saying, Al?
No, actually, I can't remember.
Yeah, he's just going to say how, the place has been abuzz with interest about how Lord Abbey from the East is this great and modest warrior, and what skills he's going to show us today, about his exotic fighting style.
Can't wait
Yep,
until I roll
he's
into
getting
level
all
1.
this buzz built up for nothing.
And what of you, Drakan? Will you be on show today?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, I'm going to go out there.
I
Gotta
haven't,
make easy money.
I have not seen you in training these past few days. Are you sure you are ready?
Ready to make money? Yeah, I'm always ready to make money.
But you are participating in the arena, correct?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that too.
I see.
I'll sign us all up, my dear friend.
And what of young Fee? I imagine Fee's not at the breakfast, he's still on the roof.
Yes, Fee's still somewhere hidden. He hasn't showed up to anybody in these past 3 days.
Has he been eating or is he like fasting?
I guess he would quietly go to the kitchen, find something to eat
Sure.
at the suitable moment.
Okay. Yeah, so the rescue is going to ask, what about young Fee? I have barely seen him since we arrived.
Have no worries.
He has a habit of disappearing.
Is he feeling wounded still from his combat with Lord Abbey? Very well. I guess we will see today what preparations he has made. I know Razaluro is prepared for today. I've seen him been sparring with people all around the city day after day.
Yeah, so I've had to stand in as champion for Grintook many times in many challenges. And then I've also challenged people myself.
I would expect no less. And what of your small green companion then? Will he be partaking in a fight or two? Everyone like turns and looks at Grintook, who's somehow managed to find himself like a gerbil, and he's just like slurping it up.
I don't know. Will you be participating, Grintook?
Oh yeah, I
And
signed
just
up when I signed everyone
smile.
else's name.
What did you sign up for?
You'll see.
You know that gambling isn't part of the competition, right?
Well, gambling's a big part of the competition, but no, I'm up for an actual event. Jackass.
What the heck could you possibly do?
I'll have you know, I've been a mercenary warrior for many years. I know how to fight.
Yes, he's survived many odds in the last decade or two.
These are to be honorable duels. Your method of fighting is not exactly what I would describe as honorable.
And yours is
But-
throwing people on the ground like a pussy.
But is it against the rules?
You just looked at Medalla, and Medalla's kind of like, well, you're expected to adhere to the rules of combat, which would certainly rule out what I expect Grintook's techniques to be.
And what are these rules of combat?
Well, you must face your opponent head on, or, you know, they must be aware of who they are fighting and where you are. And you must be equipped equally in the match. You're not allowed to bring or to equip yourself with a weapon or anything you could use as a weapon in the match outside of what you are both given.
That seems silly.
Well, it is, you know, it is a match of your skill and your physical prowess. If you were to bring in something to increase your odds against them that is beyond what, you know, your training has afforded you, then that is seen as unfair.
I'm just gonna look at the height difference between him and Grintook. Yeah, we wouldn't want to be unfair.
No, well, also, it's not sporting for you to accept a challenge or a duel from someone who is obviously not who doesn't have a fighting chance against you. I, for instance, would not pick a fight with Grintook here. I would not accept his challenge in a duel. So if Grintook has offered a duel to someone, it must be someone of fairly equal stature.
But I thought it was like an arena competition. Like we didn't get to pick who we challenged. It just kind of you got matched up with people.
Yes, but the priests will allocate who fights who based on their evaluation.
Does that mean you have other travelers here? I don't think we've met them.
I've not heard of any others staying in the city at the moment, but there may be one or two around.
No, I'm curious to see who Grintook will fight.
Sorry, am I stealing the limelight with Grintook again?
It's not theft. He owned it from the beginning.
Oh no, I was using Grintook as a way to ask my own questions.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're expected, you know, you're given your weapons and to fight a fair fight.
So as long as it's something that we've been trained in, we're allowed to use it.
As long as the other person has like something of equal like value or whatever. Like you couldn't have a polearm that gives you a reach advantage on someone. You would have to, if you both had polearms, it would be fine.
So not that. Like abilities you've been trained in. As long as we.
Well, as
something
you'd
we've
have
naturally
heard, like
trained in.
anything that's like magical is seen as unfair if the other person can't also do that.
Well, that just seems silly.
The Zoti don't have like magical abilities themselves, so if you came by and started having magical abilities against them, they would seem that as unfair.
Oh, I see the height difference is unfair.
Yeah, but they would
Their
try.
height, not their
They would try.
not their giant muscles.
Yeah, they would try and put you against someone who's like of similar size, roughly. Same way you would put into fighters into like weight categories.
We're all fighting children, basically. Except for that.
I specialise in fighting opponents bigger than me.
And the priest will take that into consideration.
I wonder if you can even use your magic talismans, though.
If you excuse me, my friends, he says as he gets up from the breakfast table, I must see the swordsmith about my weapon. I shall see you all in the arena.
I can't wait to play some bets.
Competition does provide some interest.
Is there anything you want to do before the arena?
Well, I would like to place a bet on myself.
Yeah, Medall's father, who doesn't appear to be involved in any of the battles, he's going to be able to like steer you guys to the person that deals with the taking of wagers.
And as he shows up to everybody at the arena, his demeanor is changed. He is different. He's not bowing to anybody. He does not use Mr. or Sir or Lord.
So does they just walk in and walk past us? Does they actually greet us, or?
He'll wave. He'll greet you, yes, but it's different than usual. He usually bows and uses words of respect. But this time, his whole appearance and personality is different.
Does they seem like darker or just more confident?
More relaxed. He has a smile on his face. He even walks a little bit different. It's more like a cocky walk. Yes, definitely looking more confident.
I am remembering that right. You did defeat him, didn't you, Shuki?
That was just simple spar. He's much more focused at the moment. It'll be much more difficult to defeat now than it was in that simple little game.
He's up against another class of opponent, though.
I think we'll see a much more different performance from Fee. From young Fee.
So you are told that the way the fights are arranged, they kind of start off with the less spectacular, smaller people, and build up, to the largest ones at the end, and then after all the sort of sporting duels have been fought, duels of grievance are then fielded.
I do wonder what Medall's match will be on. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight.
Medall's father, who's a man called Amin, I should have mentioned earlier. He just keeps quiet and doesn't even mention his son. He just kind of like focuses you guys on where you need to go and what you need to do to place your bets.
You've been a great aid to us today, Amin.
Of course, my friends. It's my duty to be hospitable to our guests. It has been an enjoyable few days with you all. I look forward to seeing how you do today. So I think Jam will be the first one up.
not even get into it.
So, Jam, you're up against someone called Arya. And this is you. I'm going to assume you picked archery as your weapon set.
That's fine with me, yeah.
So you'll be engaging in a competition of archery skill. So you won't be shooting each other, but well, you'll see. So do you guys want to bet on or against Jam?
He doesn't need to gamble, so he will not gamble at all.
I'll bet 1 gold coin on Jam.
And 5 on the other.
Can you bet on both?
No,
It's the thing, so no.
no. You're supposed to have conviction to bet on one person or the other.
Betting 2 coins against her.
It's not a healing competition.
Would we still bet on Jam in a healing competition?
No,
That's
I would
a
also
joke.
bet against. I would also bet against Jam in a healing competition.
Imagine Quinton's just gonna bet against everyone except for himself and Raz. Or maybe Draken.
So, Jam, you are taken off, separate from everyone. What are you wearing in terms of clothing?
I think it's something still like kind of loose to give it enough fabric to cover her bark.
Sure. So, when you go in there are 2 priests, a man and a woman. And, I mean, they're towering above you because they're a Zote. But looking at her attire, they'll say it's tradition to go derobed into the arena. However, as you are not of the Azote, we are willing to make an exception to whatever suits you.
If it's all the same to you, I'll keep my clothes on.
They nod. Yes, we wouldn't want to ask you to make yourself uncomfortable for competition. We have sourced a archery bow for you, and they give you this very finely crafted bow, which is just the ideal size for you.
One that can actually pull.
So it's a very, this is a very finely made bow. It's got a good stretch on it. You can put a lot of force into it. And then they show you a quiver of arrows that have been made as well. You're free to inspect these, make sure they are to your liking. Your opponent will be equipped with something of equal value, but more suited to their size.
I think it feels it's like they seem a very trustworthy people, so she'll take the arrows without inspecting them individually and ask. Well, I wasn't actually elucidated on the villains of this competition.
Ah yes, I was about to divulge those for you. So each of you will have a target opposed to each other, and you'll have 3 shots. And then you'll be judged on accuracy and speed of making these shots on target. Very simple.
That sounds simple enough.
Yes, when the sand is dropped, that is your signal to begin.
Well, I'm ready whenever.
Do I even have the crowd on this? Wait a second. Yeah, so the doors, the kind of double doors open for you, Jam. And another set of double doors across from you open, and you step out into this massive circular arena. Thousands of people are in the sort of coliseum around it. And you look to your left, and you can see there is a young boy with half of his head shaved and the other half of the hair kind of like combed over to the side. He's a little bit taller than you, quite broad, quite built, but you can tell he's like a young man. You might even have seen him when you were trading previously in the city. And as you both kind of step out these doors, the crowd start jeering and clapping. Or cheering and clapping, I should say. You can see Amin and your compatriots sat front row seats off to the right hand side of the arena. You're both led out into the arena circle and directed towards the far end either side. And then when you're standing there, you can see that you're positioned directly beside a target which has been painted on the wall behind you. And then an apple is placed on your head. And you point over to your opposition on the other side, and you can see that he's also been sat or stood right next to a target on the wall, and a piece of fruit placed on his head as well. You may shoot either the fruit or the target of your choosing, they say, as they leave you there. And the official in the middle of the ring reaches down and picks up a handful of sand. The crowd falls silent as the official waits, and then the official opens their hand and drops the sand. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't think I found out what happens if you drop the apple.
Well, you can choose to shoot the apple or the target as your choice of show of skill and accuracy. But you need to tell me now.
I think I'm going to go for probably the dumbest choice. And I'm going to quickly fire off a shot at the apple and the target.
Okay, so
Hopefully
two
before he
shots
fires.
didn't quickly.
Yes.
Okay, give me a quick roll.
Damn.
Expertly, yes. Splice the apple in two and hit a bullseye on the target. Your opponent's arrow whizzes past your shoulder into the target behind you. What about your third shot?
So with the shot whizzing past her, she'll try to like compose herself from the near miss. I think she'll like draw back the robes covering her arms, and then try and get one more shot on the target behind them.
Okay, so you're aiming for the target. You already hit bullseye, so you're trying to split the arrow, yeah?
Hopefully.
Okay, yeah, give me the roll.
I think I would go careful with it.
Yeah, I figured, sorry, you were taking to compose
Yeah.
yourself, now you would. Okay.
But that's not splitting the arrow anyway.
Okay, I'll give you a choice here. You can split the arrow, but your opponent's shot is a little off and strikes you. Or you can hit the target and not split the arrow.
I'll take damage to split the arrow.
You split the arrow, and the second arrow comes flying down towards you. Clearly they are aiming for the apple on your head. But it like skids into the top of your skull as it just kind of knocks the apple off. You're going to take a pain.
I will lose my footing opposition. If she's more shocked by it, just collapses onto the ground.
You fall on the ground. The Zoti official walks over, grabs your wrists and like holds it in the air as best he can. The winner,
official,
Lady
like,
Jamu.
The official like holds her up off of the ground.
Razalo just lets out a loud moo in celebration.
So Raz, you'll get your coin back plus another 2 coins.
Shiki's just applauding Jam's victory.
Do you have like regular blood?
I don't think blood had come up before, had it?
I'm just wondering when you that's arrow's obviously like scratching right across the top of your skull. Like, I mean, if you're not bleeding, is there sap leaking out or something?
It's when blood came up before, I instead I had it be like the embers of her bark that
Right.
came off of her. So yeah, I think that kind of thing. It's like parts of her like breaking off instead of actual bleeding.
So it's probably like a trail of like glowing ash. Yeah, as if like your insides are on fire or something like that.
Yeah.
But yes, you're announced the winner, you're raised up, and you can feel the energizing rejuvenation from just the emotions of the crowd as everybody's like clapping and cheering. There's a great show of skill being the opening fight.
Though they put the ones that are like looking forward to the leaf at the start.
Your opponent like turns around and pulls out the arrow that's been split and holds it up with a big smile on his face, and he's also cheering with excitement.
Jam just like, nervously takes a bow.
You're both kind of walked over towards each other in the centre where you shake hands. And then are escorted out of the arena. The next couple of fights are a bunch of children just squaring off against each other. One of them is like a tag team match where they're sort of wrestling with each other, which goes on quite a while before they sort of tire out and one side gets the better of the other. The next fight that is of interest to you guys is Lord Abbey and Lord Drakan.
We're fighting each other?
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
perfect.
I'll see you in the arena, Lord Drakan.
Where's Gintuck at?
Bentuk's like standing like on the wall part of the arena. And he's been betting on like every fight, and he's like yelling stuff and calling the kids pussies and stuff like that when they don't get up. Get up, you fucking pussy! I got 6 gold on you. Like, come on, knock his teeth out.
He's been losing as much as he's been winning.
They're just like wrestling and pinning each other, and he's like, kill her, kill her.
How much did you bet against me?
It'd be funny if the match he's screaming like "killer, killer," the boy pins her and is like, "I profess my love to you."
So Gintuck would know the odds. I'm wondering that. What are the odds, for my fight with him? Like, who's got the better odds here?
The odds for you against Abby?
Yeah.
So overwhelmingly, the odds are in favour of Abby, because everyone is so excited to see this skilled martial artist do his thing. And he's so
I bet-
modest that he must be like holding something really special back.
So I bet for him to win, I'm not going to win much, is what I'm being told.
No, you'd only win a marginal amount. Whether if you bet for yourself, you would win a lot of money.
Damn it. Alright. Guess I'm going to bet for myself then.
I'll also bet 3 gold on Draken.
I bet 7.
The priest official comes round and she leads you into the separate rooms for you to get ready. So you are asked, which weapons do you choose to fight with, or do you want to fight hand to hand?
I'll only ever fight hand to hand.
Okay, so it's going
If
to
a
be
weapon matches,
yeah, it'll be hand to hand then if that's all you fight as.
Yeah.
All I fight with is daggers, but yeah, hand to hand it is.
And again, you are told it is a tradition to derobe when you enter the ring.
No, thank you.
But if that's not comfortable for your culture, then that's perfectly fine.
Shiki's gonna be in Japanese underwear for this fight, just to show his respect to the tribe.
What makes Japanese underwear Japanese underwear?
It's Findoshi.
That's it. It's called.
This is just
You know,
awkward.
underwear sumo wrestlers wear, John.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
That.
That's fine. That's not so bad, man.
Uh,
I mean, you're a young guy. It's not going to be like gross.
Yep.
And you're in pretty good shape as well,
Well-
so I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a Bruce Lee-like physique, so yeah, it's.
Oh, yeah, well.
awkwardness.
What about you, Drakan? Are you all covered up as usual?
Oh, I'm covered up as usual. Yeah. He can disrobe. I'm not. I already lost the advantage of not having daggers, so I'm gonna keep my armor. Thank you very much.
So, as before, you light the doors open, you step out to the ring. The crowd goes mental when Shiki steps out. Like, there have been all kinds of crazy rumours going around for the last 24 hours about who this guy is and what he's capable of. Grossly exaggerated.
Oh.
He's a dragon in
just
human
read book.
form.
Yeah, so Shiki will bow, respectfully. He's like, "I wish you a good match, Lord Rakan."
I wish the odds would have been more even, so I could have made more money off of this.
I do apologise, but I do not intend to lose.
I know. That's why I would have made more money off of this.
So once again, the official's going to crouch down, pick up a handful of sand. And when they drop this is your signal to start. You're told that, the match will end when one of you submit.
And Shiki will take a stance and then just wait for Drakan to come to him.
So
Yeah.
the
Good luck
sand
with that, buddy.
drops. What would you do?
I immediately back up to a wall.
So you retreat backwards.
Shiki's just going to stand, wait, keeping his eyes, never leaving Drakan.
So you back up, you stand still, and nothing happens for a few moments, and the crowd gets a little antagonized by this. They want action.
But any good warrior knows you don't make the first move.
Shiki can't, by his own code, make the first move. He has to wait for Drakan.
So you stand off, maybe circle each other, I guess. And
I will not move. I'm standing like a rock.
I'm not moving from my spot right next to the wall.
okay, the crowd gets more and more aggressive, and for the rest of you that stand in the crowd watching, you start to feel like this could end up really bad if they don't get something that makes them happy.
Well, I actually don't give two fucks about the people, so yeah, I'll just keep standing here.
Lord Drakan, I believe we need to engage in some form of combat, or there might be a riot.
Alright, well, go ahead and start then.
Lord Drakan, I've explained to you my code of honor before. I cannot initiate a fight.
That sounds like a you problem.
One of the priest officials steps up into center and yells at you both. Is there a problem, my friends?
My opponent doesn't seem to wish to fight.
Oh no, I'm just waiting for him to make the first move, as any good warrior would.
As am I. He simply wishes to flee and back up to a wall and not engage.
Advantageous positioning.
Well, I appreciate your tactics, my friends. I should tell you that to not fight and to not participate would be seen as extremely insulting.
I am
To the
very
whole
greatly
ritual.
eager to participate. My opponent does not wish to engage with me.
Oh no, I'm waiting for the first move to be made. That's just how I was trained.
As was I.
As this
So we
goes
were-
on, the officials like are looking at each other nervously. William's like sweating a little bit.
Just a bad.
They-
It was a bad matchup, I guess. You know.
Did they sell any like tomatoes in the crowd to show?
Well, that's what's going to come next, yeah.
Can I start throwing tomatoes at them?
Yes,
I was hoping Vaz would be the first one.
that
to
would be
do
better,
so.
yeah. Roll a
Yes,
flashy for me,
I can
guys.
imagine a Grunchuk might end up flying in the ring at one point.
Could I get a advantage for intimidating?
No, because you're not intimidating them.
I'm eating the tomatoes instead of throwing them.
You throw a tomato, and that catches on extremely quickly. The two of you in the ring are assaulted by vegetables and fruit. Both of you take a pain.
Shiki will try and dodge all the vegetables, fruit and veg that's being thrown at him.
Okay, roll to dodge. Roll your defense.
Hold my defense too.
And sure.
Did you 6
I
plus 2?
fail.
Yeah, so yeah, you take a pain.
I got a 9.
Shiki, you avoid getting hit, but this is going to be like marked against you for your reputation here. This is seen as like all kinds of dishonorable now.
Literally anyone else Shiki would have had a good fight with. Against the one guy who doesn't want to fight.
So,
No, I just got a plan, and I'm not abandoning it, and I don't give a crap what other people think. If they find me dishonorable, it doesn't actually matter to me.
So I just want to be clear, this is how you are going to stick it out, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He can't do anything.
It goes on
The most
for...
he can do is walk up to Drakan. He's going to literally at this point just walk straight up to Drakan, right next to him, and is like waiting for Drakan to react.
So
Are
he
you
gets
going
close.
to do anything as he walks
so he-
straight up to you?
So he gets close to the wall then.
Yeah, he's going to get close enough to the wall.
Okay, we're both at the wall. Perfect.
Yes, he's not at the wall yet. Because he's going to walk straight line to you.
Well, yeah, you're not gonna hit me. I know that now. So I'm just gonna let you get as close to me as I possibly can, and then I'm just gonna walk up the wall.
The official kind of like runs over, panicking, like, you cannot leave the arena. The duel is not over.
I'm not leaving the arena. I'm just on the wall above where he can reach me.
And Shiki will back up, still keeping an eye on Drakan, waiting for him to like jump off the wall down at me, thinking that's his big plan.
No, I'm just keeping you out of reach for the
The
moment.
crowd is like banging, stamping their feet, thumping their fists on the seats in front of them.
And yeah, this is how the match is going to end.
Oh yeah.
After an excruciating minute or so, the official waves his hands like as if like to cut the throat, and a bell rings, and the crowd are all on their feet, booing and shouting and throwing stuff. Some of them like start picking up like bits of wooden chairs and throwing them towards the arena. Disgrace, dishonorable, heathens. The priests come out and they're like, my guest, I think you should leave.
I'll apologise to the priest as like, I cannot fight an opponent who does not wish to engage with me.
Yes, please, for your own safety, please hurry.
Yeah,
Please hurry.
as a bow, I'll leave.
As you're being escorted out, like a trio of performers are like running out into the middle of the ring to start like doing acts and feats of strength and stuff to try and like bring the crowd back down. Are you also being escorted out, Drac? Or did you have your own
no.
thing?
Oh, I was gonna actually like right before they ring the bell, I was gonna start the fight, but it already ended, so it's okay.
Yeah, I can imagine you saying that to them. I was about to start it, and they're just like glowering at you, just pure hatred, man, fuming.
Shiki
no.
was prepared the entire time until Drakan until literally the end of the bell, so that he would be attacking me after the bell had finished ringing if he did.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
was I
so
didn't
you are
fight.
hurriedly led away from the arena, and the doors close behind you. The priests like just don't even know what to say to you.
Next time, pick your opponents better. How are you gonna put two people who wait for the other person to make their first move against each other? We're both
But
just gonna wait
they're
it
just
out.
like incredulous. They're just like, but you were battling. You were supposed to show your expert skill against each other. And they're like looking at
man.
you, Abby, and they're just kind of like, we had such high expectations. What if this wondrous master that we had heard of?
I do apologize for just dashing your hopes, but this was a poor matchup.
I must say, you will not be welcome back here again.
I feel ashamed, dishonored. I do apologize for this.
Please take your leave and leave through the back entrance.
And Shiki will head towards the front entrance as he's leaving.
You can just see like lines of people shouting for their money back.
Do we get our money back? That was all my gold.
No, you don't get any money back. You keep it.
Yeah, the final result was a draw.
Yeah. They've never had a draw before, so they don't have like a symbol for it in their writing. So they're having to like verbally explain to everyone what a draw is.
I think they'll previously have had one where like one person went down just before the other. So they'll be like, it's like that.
Yeah,
but
This was
Yeah,
this
but
was a
you-
great day.
But usually that person will then like admit defeat and give it up, you know, because it's honourable. Someone has to win, kind of thing. So they don't have draws. It's an alien concept to them.
This is a great day for me.
But that means you
And
lost
Shiki
your
feels Shiki feels horrible for them. They've lost a great show, a great match. He feels really bad for everyone else.
It takes some time, but eventually the crowd is kind of calmed down and get back to like their sitting positions. Although they're no longer cheering, they're just kind of quietly grumbling to each other. Yeah, I think several matches, I think probably like a dozen matches or something will happen since then. And the sour atmosphere kind of lifts and people start trying to get back into the spirit of things. At that point, you two could re-enter to sit your seats in the crowd, as long as you wear a disguise.
Shiki would never wear a disguise. He'll come in his fancy robes.
Right, so
And
one
just
of
walk through all-
Amin's servants will find you and take you guys back to the house.
Oh no! I was wondering, by the way, does the arena have all those anti shadow step signals? Signals?
Probably on like the main like thoroughfare and entrances, but it's not covered in them.
Yeah, so I'd probably just sneak back into the stands and be sitting next to them again.
You want to give me a sneaky roll then?
Oh yeah. It's a dice roll, right?
Is the tournament structured in the form of knockout rounds?
It's just like one-on-one battles. You're not fighting more than one battle. You're up against your suitable opponent, supposedly, and then the glory goes to the victor. Because it's supposed to be a test of your strength and skills.
Okay.
But at this point, it's quite far on, and you probably expected Fee to get put up very early on, but for some reason, it's getting quite far into the afternoon, and he's still not been called up. And of course, as you all know, Grintuk is the one that puts your names down in the fights.
Oh, I see what's gonna happen.
I think I've got the same idea.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Razaluro this is towards the end of the bouts. You're called in as one of the greatest warriors, the tallest, the strongest. Everyone's talked around town about seeing the fights you've been engaging in all week. Clearly, you're just warming yourself up for this big match.
Just stride into the arena and just he just throws his clothes off and starts flexing.
Yeah, before you're even taken back and given instructions, you just march into the ring and start playing for the crowd. An assistant comes up to you, Fee, and she has a kind of tablet, like a clay tablet. Is one of you Fee?
Fee stands up and walks over. It's me.
Are you sure?
Yes. Is there something wrong? I've been waiting for my name for the whole day.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not quite sure how this has happened. I suppose this must be right, but you're scheduled to fight the Minotaur.
Immediately give Gintuk 7, which is the last of my gold, and say, hey, go put all this on FIFA because I don't want anything.
Against the Minotaur?
Yes.
You mean
win.
Raz the Minotaur?
Yes. It's right here, and she shows you in clay. Your names are like written against each other.
Fee takes a deep sigh and a form of relief. Oh, good. I was already scared that I'm gonna have to face off the grandmother.
You hear a nudge. You feel like a nudge by your leg. Fee, you look down. You can see Grintook there. So you better hurry up if you're going to kill him.
Kill him? Well, Grintook, this is not the death. You know that, right?
Oh, I think you'll find it is.
What do you mean, Grintook? I'm not fighting Raz to death.
The woman like takes you by the wrist and starts pulling your way towards the preparation chamber. Raz, you're like ushered back into this chamber. It's like this. And then you can see like an array of swords and spears and other sharp, nasty-looking weapons lined up on the wall. And the priest comes out and says, "Gentlemen, for Mortal Kombat, please choose your weapon."
I didn't know he had a blood feud.
He looks at Raz. What? This is not possible.
Apparently you've disgraced my honor and I've challenged you to a blood feud. And I don't remember that, but here we are. He just picks up a sword and just like gently runs it along one of his horns to see how sharp it is.
The priest is also like looking at clay tablet. He's like, "Yes, this seems to be in order. So yes, this is the match."
Well, there must have been some misunderstanding because I am willing to fight the Minotaur. It would be a great test, but there must be a misunderstanding because I did not sign up for Mortal Kombat.
Is this not your name? And he holds you up the tablet part where you can see your name has been like printed into the clay, suspiciously with like a goblin nail-shaped sort of shape to it.
It is my name, but misunderstanding was not about my name. It was about the type of the combat.
Well, you've both been signed up for Mortal Kombat.
And so thus Mortal Kombat it shall be.
Explanation was given as Razaluro took you as his slave, and this is a historical grievance, no?
Well, yes, I was not really Raziluro's slave. I was somebody else's slave, but Raziluro was escorting me.
The official from earlier kind of steps up and says, "Listen, we've already had enough trouble from you people today. Please choose your weapons."
Raz, I don't want to do this. I don't
I'll
see a
win.
point in Mortal Kombat.
Don't worry, I'll make it fair. Since I have my horns, I won't use another weapon.
So, what happens if I? Is there a way for me not to fight to the death? What happens if I refuse?
Then you die.
The priests look at each other very anxiously when you mention the word refuse. They're like, no, we must have a fight. We must have a fight. Perhaps you could fight until first blood. Yes, the first one to spill blood.
Well, if we are fighting to the first blood, that sounds more reasonable. Yes, I was already thinking about how to offer something else in return. For example, one of your finest warriors, I could compensate with the finest warrior of Azoty, you know? Something like that.
You can hear
Just
the crowd outside starting to get impatient, and the officials are like, we can't have this again. Jerome, get them
What
prepared.
if
Just like...
What if I
Sorry, you go.
I look at the priest? Would he be able to compensate if I have a duel with one of the finest Azoty warriors instead of Mortal Kombat with Raz? Raz is my comrade, and we are on a noble quest. We can't afford losing our lives here in this arena.
If he doesn't want to fight me, then I'll find some giant monster. I'm sure that'll rile everyone up.
The official's like, I'm sorry, my friends, we don't have time for this. And the other two assistants just tear your clothes off.
Raz's clothes are just still out in the arena after he threw them off.
Yeah, well, for Fee, they just like whip Fee's clothes off him, so he's standing naked.
So Raz, to the first blood, then.
You can pick your weapon Fee as well.
No, I do not wish to use the weapons. If we are going for the first blood, then without weapons, it sounds the most reasonable, right, Raz? Do you agree on this?
How do you plan on making me bleed then? I just like grab one of the swords and just like it slices it through his arm, but it doesn't do anything.
The doors start to open, and you can hear the announcer shouting, ladies and gentlemen, for our next grievance match, Master Fee and Lord Resoluro, the Minotaur. And the other official is just like pointing frantically for you two to step outside.
I just step outside, just start waving my arms up like I'm trying to rile the crowd up more.
Yeah, funny thing is, I imagine Fee coming to Bookie and just giving him the sword and my leather armor as a bet without knowing who I'm gonna face, because he was very confident he's gonna win the battle. So I didn't even ask what are the odds or anything. I walk into the arena topless.
And you can see Medala's grandmother Fee over in the crowd. And although she's got the shawl on like you asked when you step in, she just like whips it off so she's naked and starts spinning it around her head.
Oh my god. He's walking in anxiously, his jaw is dropping, looking at those big titties flashing at
Well, flopping
And,
would be
yeah.
a more accurate term, but yeah.
flopping, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna stand in the ring trying to focus. He's gonna shout to Raz because it's hard to hear at this distance because of the crowd. Raz, not to the death, please. We can have a good duel, but let's settle this without killing each other. What do you say?
And then you just hear Grintook yelling, "Kill that son of a bitch! We want blood, blood!" He's like trying to get the crowd around him chanting the same thing.
Yes. We shall see if you survive past first blood, and go from there.
These are stood opposite each other. The official crouches down, picks up the sand, takes a step back, and drops the sand. What do you do?
Charge.
Yeah, as Fee was preparing, he's trained in Kung Fu and Aikido, but his stance is also changed. He's more like in a Taekwondo stance, or like Bruce Lee from Enter the Dragon, on his tiptoes back and forth. And without having too much time to think about, he's seeing Razilura charging him, so I suppose he has the first move.
Yeah, Raz will just get down on his all fours and just start charging like a just a regular bull.
Okay, you want to roll forceful.
Do I have advantage over Fee?
No, you won't have advantage over Fee. Fee, you want to roll your defense for me?
Yeah, so let's see. I'm trained, I'm agile. I don't have an armor, but I have Aikido plus 1 defense, so plus 3.
Are you distracted?
Oh yes, probably
Yeah, so lose.
in this first round. Yeah,
Yeah, lose 1 modifier for the distraction.
so plus 2 defense.
Yeah. So Raz, on his roll, he would have wounded you, and then you get to retaliate. But because you got a success there, you're going to reduce the wound to a pain or a stress of your choice, and then you get to make a counter move.
Okay, so I was distracted, and he charged at me. I didn't have enough time to avoid his charge, so I suppose he lunged straight into my chest. I'm crying out loudly in pain. He pushed me several feet backwards.
Okay.
And now we are again at some distance. I'm not gonna give him enough time to launch another charge, because his body is too massive for me to withstand in a forceful competition with him. So I'm gonna quickly throw a low kick to his legs, trying to topple him to the ground. So I suppose I'm gonna do it quickly before he has enough time to charge at me again.
Sure.
Because then there's no stopping at him.
Sounds good. Give me a roll. Do you want to...
Oh,
You got your
I,
monk to reroll, I think?
yeah, I have a monk. I have a veteran, and any of those two would help. So I'm gonna reroll
Yep.
with let's say veteran. I've been in the arena with
That's true.
the
Yep.
Minotaur. Yeah.
Okay, Raz, do you want to roll with your defense?
Alright. So I technically have armor, because I have sick hide.
Sure. But that's not going to help you against being leg swept.
Alright, that's a good point. So I guess just...
I mean, if anything, your size would work against you. You are going to reduce the wind to a pain.
I'll lose my footing.
Yep, leg sweeps you, lose footing, hit the ground, but then it's your turn to make a move.
As I'm falling, I want to try to pound into the ground to cause like a tremor.
So when you realise you're falling, just lean into it and put all your weight and force into the ground.
Yeah, just so I can try to, since he's still nearby, I'm gonna try to knock him over.
Okay. definitely forceful.
Would my large size give me an advantage for that roll?
Sure, why not?
13.
You want to roll your defense fee?
Sure.
Otherwise, this is going to be a serious wind. Oh dear.
Oh, I'm gonna have to be lucky here.
Yeah. Okay, so auto success. Okay, so it goes from a serious wind to a wind, and then because it's a 10, it's going to go down to a pain again. So he's going to slam into the ground, miniature earthquake, tremor. You lose your footing, perhaps, or something.
Yes, I lose my footing. I'm also falling to the ground, but this also counts as plus 10 defense. So I'm gonna, as I'm falling down, I'm gonna immediately have the retaliation strike
Yep.
from 10 plus defense.
Raz, you want to roll your defense for me?
As he goes to realizing I didn't bet anything on this fight, and as he goes to strike, Raz is just gonna wink at Fee as he's get hit and just uses his own force to knock himself further back. Like that hit just flew him across the arena.
Okay, so you're not going to roll defense, what you're saying.
Right.
Okay, so do you want to pick a wind? It should be a serious wind. More than just cuts and bruises.
Alright. How about a broken arm where he like blocked for appearances?
Okay, yeah, you wink at Fee as if you're doing him a favour, but Fee is like striking you with like a phenomenal amount of force and snaps your arm and you kind of like tumble away away from him. And then Fee, you get a follow-up move.
And yeah, I'm gonna go for a devastating blow. So I'm gonna use sort of a cat-like movement to grab a good footing and then lunging, channeling my chi into a focus strike when all of my chi body energy is channeled throughout the body to my fist into his nose, big minotaur nose. And yeah, I completely forgot. I have Penny's Gain. I haven't been using this so far, but never mind. So I'm gonna have advantage
Yep.
on my next move, and I'm gonna use all of my mana. I
Yep.
have 3 mana.
Okay, channeling everything into this furious blow.
Raz is just like waiting there on the ground, just like it's like his tongue sticking out like he got knocked out in one hit.
Grinthook is like up on his toes, just like, finish him! Finish him! Fee, yeah, you can describe it. Fly through the air, just sinking your nose and your fist into his nose.
Yeah, just thinking in him, hoping that he's gonna fall unconscious.
Yes, you take another wind, Raz, but that is going to definitely draw blood.
Alright, I guess I'm bleeding heavily.
Crunches into that big massive bull nose of yours and it just explodes with blood, like flying everywhere, spilling onto the sand. The crowd goes nuts and starts getting on their feet cheering, forgetting about the letdown earlier, and just like fully in support of this young small boy overcoming this mighty minotaur, despite the fact that most people probably lost their money in this fight.
Not die.
Not Grintook.
You wouldn't think so. Grentuk is like kicking and spitting and swearing to himself at the side of the, you know. How much did you bet, Drac?
7 gold.
Okay, so you get your 7 back plus another 70.
70?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The official comes over to you, Fee, and saying, "A little wary about getting too close to you for a second, just like making sure it's okay to enter your space."
He's looking at his hand. I'm gonna take an additional pain because I think just from the size from the Minotaur,
Sure.
his hand hurts. Yeah, it was a huge release of chi, and I mean his body is not really capable of withstanding. So I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take that my hand is also bruised and bleeding.
Sure. The official kind of like motions if it's okay to touch you, and if you kind of give him the nod, he'll like lift your hand up and announce that Master Fee is the winner. And then he leans down to you, Raz. It's Lord Razaluro. Are you okay? Do you require a priest?
He just like, from where his head, he just opens one eye and just looks around, and just stands up. Haha, it was a good fight. I'm gonna try to, can I use my endurance to just snap my arm back into place?
Not really how it works with a broken arm, but
It'll be fine, probably.
I mean, you can do that. It's still broken though.
Alright.
It would require healing.
Fee is gonna offer a handshake. Sorry, Raz. I don't know what to say, Raz, but I was scared for a moment. Believe me or not, you are fierce.
Not many people wouldn't be scared with a Minotaur charging at them.
Yes, and I'm actually glad that we are on the same side. You know, Raz, there is no point in killing each other.
Well, it was
Hey.
good at the very least.
Hey, Raz, I didn't even know that you're gonna be my opponent. I don't think I would bet a sword and the armor, but I know you lost your armor because of losing a bet on me. In the next place we visit, I will buy you an armor, and let's fix your arm. We need you. What's upcoming, you know?
At that, Raz just laughs and puts his hand on his shoulder, like, "Oh, don't worry. I think this was part of the plan all along. If anything, Grintuk should have made a lot of money off of us."
Yes, I'm sure he did, and I hope you understand if I release something on him because I did not sign up for this. He will hear me.
Well, let's go find a healer. I think my head is bleeding.
It's just a scratch, Raz. We'll fix you up in no time.
Just take it to the back room. Usually given some like water, wine, herbs to kind of ease the pain for now until a priest can attend you. Or perhaps jam. As you are entering that room, Grentuk is already in the back room, like completely goblin butt naked. And he has like a little dagger that he's just like throwing up and catching repeatedly.
Did you make sure to bet against me like you were supposed to?
He just like stops and the dagger just like hits the ground. That's my fight. I'll see you in a moment.
Alright, see you later.
Waddles past the two of you.
I give him an eye and I shout at him as he's passing through. We're gonna have a word, Green Took.
He just kind of like shouts back something in Goblin that sounds like a curse. Definitely an insult. For this out there, the announcer gets into the middle of the ring and announces one of Azotti's greatest warriors, one of its most valued and treasured combatants, with over 100 victories and no losses, will now be taking a grievance match against Grintook. And as the doors open and Grintook comes kind of just like marching out, just like an angry little bastard that he is, with a dagger in one hand, and come thundering out of the other door is this huge Azote person of long curly black hair, huge bulging muscles covering the entirety of their body in places you didn't know you had muscles. And this person has a sword that is like 3 times the size of Grintook, and he's just like kind of like spinning it in his hand as if it's nothing. As they take up the positions on either side of the arena, Grintook like points his dagger at the Azote, and he says, "You're going to pay for charging me 3 gold for that pomegranate, you bastard!"
Can I bet 7 gold on Grintook?
Yeah, you can bet whatever you like.
Can I borrow some gold to bet on Grintook?
I'll give you 5.
Alright, I'm gonna bet 5 gold on Grintook.
He's
And
probably
then,
gonna lose, but I can't help myself. I can't.
I'm gonna shout out to him. Grintook, if you lose, I'm going to eat you.
Grintook just like spits to the ground to his side and doesn't even turn back to look at you. You can see he's like just 100% focused on his opponent.
7 gold on his opponent, my bad. None on Grintook.
On the opponent. The opponent like holds his sword up, spins around to the crowd and appeals to them. "Why should I fight this puny one? But I dare not dishonour the rules of combat. Prepare to die, little one." The dinosaur gets in the centre and picks up the sand and goes, "And now we enter Mortal Kombat." And then he drops the sand. The
3
Zote
gold. for the pomegranate.
doesn't really seem sure what to do, and he just like kind of walks up with the sword and then gets into a bit of a run and swipes down at Grintook, who like somersaults in the air over the sword, lands on the Azote's like the back of his neck, his shoulders, plunges his dagger right into the spinal cord and twists it.
I should have stuck with my instinct.
And then he double flips again in the air so that he's facing back towards the Azote. The Azote doesn't even realise what's happening before his whole body is like paralysed down the spinal column. He drops the sword in spasms and falls face forward into the sand. The entire stadium just goes silent in complete like shock.
After a few moments, Raz is gonna let out a loud cheer.
Raz is like on his feet just like clapping. Grintook like walks over to the Azote and just like spits on him. Pulls out his dagger and doesn't even like turn to the crowd or anything, he just like walks away. The official's like walking up to greet him and like to hail him as a winner, but the goblin just marches past him, still just like grumbling.
Oh. There you go,
Alright.
lads. You won a bunch of money.
Alright, Draken, here's your 5 gold back.
Not interest.
Oh, you're right, 6 gold.
Thank you.
Who betting Grintook?
I did. I
Hi-
bet 5 gold.
5 gold. Okay, so you get your 5 and then you get another 500.
Alright. So that's 494.
Oh, Jesus.
The official comes in and just looks back at the goblin. The goblin then turns to the crowd and like shrugs and he goes, "Grintook wins."
Is the other man alive?
No.
Yeah, they go over to him, like turn him over, take his pulse, and the guy turns around and just like shakes his head.
Fucking hilarious.
And less than a minute later, Grinthook is like back in the stands next to Joel, and he's like got himself a pomegranate. Overcharge me, this son of a bitch.
Here, Grintook, you share of the winnings. Just give him 100 gold.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. And he like gets up in the stand, and like they're still dragging the body away, and he throws one coin down at him. He goes, "There's your change, you bastard."
Dude, you're killing me.
Yeah. So there's several other battles, and then it's announced that for the final grievance match of the night, Medalla will be facing his brother, Dalim. Or Dalim. And you see Medalla steps out naked into the ring, and he has like a long curved sword. His brother walks out at the same time as him, and they don't even look at each other as they march out to the centre and are lined up against each other, or facing each other rather.
What are the odds?
The odds are in favour of Dalim, but,
Alright,
but not by a great deal.
I'll put
Bet.
10 gold on Medalla.
I'm putting 50 on Mandela.
The official confers with each of them, and they both kind of nod. And they both raise their swords up, and Dalim says something to Medalla, just like mouths it to him. And Medalla gets in a pose where he's kind of like side on, and he's got his sword down to one side with his arm like across his chest. Raz and Fee, you'll recognise, you've seen this stance before. This is something that's very common in the mercenaries when they're going for like a killer blow, just to end a fight quickly. It's not showy, it's quick, it's efficient, it gets it over and done with, and you would use it if you're fighting multiple opponents and you're ready. Of course, Medalla has the branding of one of the Dahab Moat, I think that's the name, the mercenary company, which of course he was once a part of. His brother, on the other hand, does a kind of showy twirl of the sword and gets in a pose that you've seen many other fighters kind of get in today, and it's a sort of fencing pose almost. The official takes several steps back, and the crowd goes kind of excited, and then he drops the sand. Dalim charges towards Medalla, and Medalla just takes one step forward with a swift uppercut, dodging his brother's blow, and just decapitating him in one swipe. And the crowd just goes silent again. And then there's no you expect maybe a cheering or clapping to kind of erupt right afterwards, but there's just a somber silence for an uncomfortable sort of moment. You can turn, you can see Medalla's father sat beside you. And he alone stands up and just gives a slow clap. And then turns around and walks out of the arena. The official steps forward and goes to take Medalla's hand to raise him up in victory. And he pulls his hand away, drops the sword, and just shakes his head. Then he walks past him back into the chamber. The official steps forward and declares Medalla the winner, and also declares tonight's games are over. And some of the performers come back into the ring and start doing displays of gymnastics and such to entertain people as they leave the arena. But nobody is cheering or clapping. So who bet for Medalla?
I put 10 gold, and I think Draken said 50.
Okay. So you'll get your money back plus 50% of what you bet.
How much did I get from the sword and leather armor for a bet against Raz?
You bet against Raz.
Yeah, I bet on myself.
So you get your sword and armor back. And then what's the price of a sword?
Is it a short sword or a long sword?
A short sword.
8 gold.
Oh,
And what kind of armor?
lamellar leather armor.
I think you get 80 gold for the sword.
Non-metal lamellar.
Yeah, that'll be it. How much is that?
350.
Yeah.
That's worth 350.
Okay, so you get 3,500 for that.
Wow, that's a lot of gold.
I think that was what's that from.
Darn it, I thought I had a lot of money.
We went from having like, no money. Now everyone's rich except for Jam.
This
I'm not
could
rich.
afford a living in abundance for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I can imagine Fee, you're very surprised when they just like slide over a big stack of gold coins.
I mean, you could buy a house and have plenty left over with that much money. A 2-bedroom cottage.
Yeah, I have enough for Raz's armor and plenty of extra.
As you are collecting your winnings, you can see Medalla is standing and there's like a crowd of other Azoti around him. And there's a heated conversation going on. But it ends with Medalla like doing a sort of fist grip, like they're arm wrestling, to shake. And then they're both kind of nodding their heads at each other, and then the men leave. Shiki, sorry, there you go.
Did any of you know what was happening between them?
Shiki has no idea since he's just calmly sipping tea in the Medalla house.
I have no
Waiting for you all
idea,
to
but
return and hear what happened.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
guessing,
Raz would have
I'm guessing Zakan wouldn't have said anything to anyone else.
No, I very much respect secrets, so I wouldn't tell nobody.
Once I
Yeah.
learn of them, I very much respect them.
Well, yeah, I gotta know him, but I'm gonna respect the fact that he's trying to keep it that way, so I wouldn't tell nobody else.
Raz was only at their house during meals, so he wouldn't have noticed any awkward atmosphere.
whatever the dispute was, this is disgusting. For not any reason, you could take your brother's life. I thought Medalla was more of a being than this. I don't care about the honor of Azoti. This is taking your brother's life. Unspeakable.
You still got a lot to learn, B.
I'm sure he had more views than the goblin.
Are you kidding
Goblin.
me? 3 gold for a fucking pomegranate?
He's gonna slap the goblin very, very hard.
He just glowers at you.
How much is a life truly worth? Reslo just mumbles and just like strokes his minotaur beard under his like misshapen face.
The goblin like pulls out some gold from his pocket. It's like, I'd say about 8 gold.
Apparently for Vaz, it was only 5,
I got 500 from that though.
but you only bet 5.
It's very true.
Shiki, you're in the house alone when Medalla comes in, and he just kind of doesn't even acknowledge you're there as he like walks through the tea room into what you know as his brother's quarters.
I can tell that he is upset, and I know he probably just wants to be left alone, so he will.
You can also probably see the spray of blood that's across his face and his arm that he hasn't even wiped off yet.
I will say one thing to him as he walks past, like, if you need someone to talk to, I can provide an ear to listen.
He stops in his tracks and without turning his head, he says to her, "We will set off in the morning for the temple in the desert. But I have business to attend to tonight. If I do not return, Lord Abbey, please ask my father for provisions and he will see to you."
Thank you for your kindness. I do hope that it is you that will be aiding us tomorrow.
He doesn't really reply. He just kind of exhales and walks back out of the house. And I'm assuming the rest of you show up with your heavy pockets. Not least of all, Grintook. So yous make your way back to Medala's place. He's not there, but Lord Abbey is. And Medala's father doesn't return immediately either. So what do you guys want to do? Abby, are you going to tell them about what he said?
I will first greet them, going, "Hello, good comrades. How was the rest of the event? How did you all do it? You look rather flushed with cash, with winnings."
Yes, it was quite the spectacle.
And almost like the bloodied nose of Raz that he's still not like cleaned up.
I imagine he's got two big rags shoved up his nostrils.
And then just one arm is just dangling.
I wonder what mighty warrior you faced, Sir Raz, to cover such wounds.
It was
Must
no
be
other
one
than,
gracious fight.
it was no other than this runt here, and just push his feet forward.
Match of first blood, I assume? Looking at Fee to Raz.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But you can see that Fee is
congratulate
not.
There you go, Phil.
Yeah, Fee is not really up for a conversation. He was shook hard by the event at the end, the closing event with Medalla. So he is displeased, and he will lean at the end of the room.
Worry not. Before the night is through, we will go to a healer than a brothel.
Yes. Fee does look rather upset. Doesn't look like a victor.
How could not?
Sorry, I thought you left.
Oh, did he leave?
He's at the back of the room. How could not I be displeased with what happened with Medalla and his brother? I would never think of somebody taking one brother's life. This is not something that I can just process, you know. I am disturbed.
What's so strange about taking a brother's life?
Yes, it reminds me of the day that I killed my father in Mortal Kombat. Though, the reception was much different, and there was a lot more fanfare.
I'm sure there was in your case, Lord Raz. But Fee, things like this happen all the time. Feuds with family. They're not always pleasant. No one always wants them, but sometimes they are necessary.
Unfortunately.
I watched my father kill his brother, my uncle, when I was 4 years old.
Well, that's shitty. This world can be very, very shitty place, if you ask me. And Now he will probably take something from the table, I'll slam it into a wall, displeased, and then he will leave the room. He'll probably go out drinking.
Someone
So
best
Medalla
watch
killed
him
him.
so they don't, so he doesn't get his money stolen.
So that was Medalla's fight, was it? His brother?
Yep.
Grintook killed the man as well.
If you can call them
She's gonna
man.
give a squint eye at Grintook and like,
Can't believe I changed my bet at the last second. Damn it.
Never bet against Grintook.
Yeah, apparently.
uh,
But I thought
I know
that
you're gonna try to think of that one.
well, he was betting for Grintook. I wanted to cover all bases, so I bet against Grintook.
That'd be 1 to 10 odds. Wouldn't you? You would only gotten 10 gold back then, or like 7 gold.
I wouldn't have gotten much back. Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
You know, speaking of the fights, Lady Jamu, can you heal me? I need my arm to eat.
Didn't you say you were going to another healer? But you see, it still goes and like examines his arm, and then starts like tying the heel. And let's see if I manage. He
Oh hey.
once
This arena was a letdown. Handicapping warriors was not what I was expecting.
handicapping how.
Well, like take mine and Siki's fight for example. He only fought with fish, therefore I was forced to do the same, even though that's not my area of expertise.
Then you
But
should
the-
go to the cube. All
then
fights are fair.
Yeah, see, that's more like it.
Grintook like stretches his arms up theatrically and lets out a big massive yawn. Oh, well, I think I'm done killing people for today. I'll see you guys later.
No, gonna make another attempt at Raz.
He's still totally naked, by the way, Grintook. He's just got like a bag of gold over his shoulder.
Jam takes out one of her daggers and tosses it to the can. How about it then?
How about what?
Can have her own grudge match.
What, me and you?
Yes.
What do you have a grudge against?
We've been traveling together all this time. You were the first person I met in this entire land. Not even this land, the continent to the north. And you were still told there was nothing about yourself.
So the grudge is that I'm a private person?
Yes, what of it?
Alright.
And she'll just take up a stance with two of her daggers.
On the inside of the house?
Well, no one else is using it.
Here in the living room, right now.
Alright. I'm gonna get between the two of them and just hold out a cannonball. Alright, when the cannonball drops, are you both ready?
Can you please not do this inside the house of our humble hosts?
I'm just waiting for the cannonball to drop.
Okay.
Are you ready,
Please
Dragon?
take it outside. Come on. They have
Sure.
a perfectly good arena, little garden.
You're just ignoring
There's
Shiki, I'm just
plenty of
gonna
room.
drop the cannonball.
Jesus Christ, how did this happen?
I'm just like filled with murderous rage all of a sudden. You've never
So
seen...
when the cannonball drops, she just like rushes at him with the dual blades.
Right, so a quick roll. You want to roll your defense track?
Yeah, sorry.
You're both magical, right?
Yeah.
That would be a serious wound. You're going to drop that down to a pain or a stress of your choice, Drac. And then you get to make... Sorry, you do not get to make a counter move because she still has the initiative.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you just going to stay on defense like you did with Shiki?
Is that your next move?
Yeah, she's just like taunting you.
So I get to make a move? That is
Yes,
your
you
move?
do.
Your move is
You
to
do,
top
yeah.
me? Okay.
Or
I'm
do-
making sure.
Do you want a flashy because you're actually trying to goad them into doing something?
Sure. I've got a -1 in flash rate, but I'll take it.
Okay, so what are you trying to goad him into doing?
Just something.
Right, so to make a
Like-
move that you can react to.
Yeah.
Alright, well you feel that anyway.
Yes.
Okay, Drac, do what you like.
Do what you like. Okay. Since we're using knives, I guess I'll just start throwing them at her, like even my own that I have on me. And then be careful because I'm not actually trying to harm her, I guess.
Okay, just trying to quell her rage.
Well, I guess more clever. I guess I'm trying to like pin her to like a surface or something, like
Okay,
her clothing or
sure.
something. Yeah, that's what. So maybe 2d6 plus 1.
Sure, with that, Jam will be pinned to like a pillar. Where he just like catches the shoulder or the arm of the clothing that she has and just kind of like digs into the pillar behind her. So you can do something, Jam, but it'll take you a second to kind of pull yourself free from that.
Rather than pulling herself free, she's just going to toss her own dagger back at him.
Dagger fights.
I have knife fighting. I guess my defense would be I'm gonna try and catch it.
Okay, Jam, you want to roll, and then you might as well just roll your defense.
I don't know what it would be. I'll just say quick. It's bad anyway.
You go to throw the other knife, and you just hear Amin's voice. What in the gods is going on in here? And with the start, you just kind of like miss throw the blade, and Dracan, you're able to kind of just catch it midair quite easily. So then Amin is standing there. A couple of other Risotto have someone on a stretcher covered in canvas. You can see like blood dripping down one side of it, down one man's arm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep returning fire and then use the dull dagger to actually hit her with. I guess I'm not gonna let that distract me.
Okay.
Maybe if she's distracted, I don't know. I'll try sneaky, but if not, I'll just do a quick throw again.
Okay, go quick. And your goal with the throw is to what?
The dull one. I'm just gonna just hit her, just cause a pain. Like I'm not really trying to kill her or anything. So the rest are to keep pinning her in place. So I guess like more through her clothes to pin her to the pillar, and the other one just to like smack her in the face with it, whatever.
I mean, if you're throwing a dagger and it smacks in the face, that's...
It's a dull dagger, so it might leave a bruise, but
a dull dagger's just going to hurt more.
yeah, right, but it's not gonna like stab into her, cause her to bleed, or
What if-
not
Okay,
gonna like.
so you're
leave a
not trying to
gaping
wound
wound.
her, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
What if he spins it just right so the pommel just smacks into her face?
That would work too, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Jam, do you want to take a pain?
Yes, she'll, I guess, drop her remaining dagger that she didn't throw, just in the pain. And she's just trying to pull one out of the pillar.
Yeah, so Aaron comes in, yells, what in the god's going on? And you can feel the anger, the pent-up violence just emanating from this guy. He's like beetroot red. And the two guys stand behind him holding the thing on the body on the stretcher are kind of like take a little half step back because they're also taken aback by his kind of like yelling.
Well, I was
He's just
challenged
staying out of
to
this.
a grievance duel.
Oh, so now you actually partake in battles.
Well, I waited for the first move to be made, as I was trying to do in the arena. It's not my fault you people have no patience.
What do you mean, you people?
You warrior culture, you had no patience. None of you in the arena had patience.
You can like see his knuckles turning white because his fist is clenched so tightly. And then he just like growls through his teeth, "Where is my son?"
Don't turn to Siki. I have no idea.
He went to his room and then he left.
He says,
He
"Good."
questioned whether he may return before sunrise, but he seemed despondent.
"I should think so," he says, and he just motions to the men. Two of them march in. They've got a body on a stretcher, lots and lots of blood at one end of it, just like dripping out. And another one comes in carrying a box, like a small wooden chest. They walk past you all towards Dalium's room.
I'll bow to the fallen body and then I'm sorry for your loss. As
Avin takes a moment to compose himself before he answers. "I hear you are travelling into the desert.
Yes, we are.
If my son is unable to fulfill his obligation to you, then I will fulfill his obligation for him."
Your son said so before he left earlier.
Then at least he has remembered some sense of duty. And then with that, he just walks out of the room. The other men come out having deposited the chest and the stretcher, and they quietly leave the building.
So, Jam, you want to continue, or you good?
Is that what happened to your last party? Did they not have enough patience for you?
Yeah, they certainly didn't have that in spades, no.
He just like pulls the dagger out of the pillow and then leaves the room.
Shiki will follow Jam.
Razlo will just pick his cannonball up from the middle of where they were fighting, out of a crack in the floor, and just
Expensive marble
Look around.
floor.
look around to see where everyone went.
I just imagine him with 1 foot, you just kind of like slide a nightstand over the top of it.
Just whistling and walk out of the room.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so the night is falling outside and the air is cooling. And there you can hear festivities going on elsewhere in the city. But around the building here is quiet. For any of you that are outside, you may just hear the sounds of swords meeting.
Is that immediately outside the building, or?
Yeah, if you step outside the front of the building, you just can hear it. It's kind of like around from the southern side.
I'll after leaving all Razlo will just go towards the sound of the fighting, or the sound of the swords.
Yeah, you turn the corner of the building, you can see there's a small group of men standing in a semicircle. You can see Medalla involved in a sword fight with another Azote. And they are furiously going at each other.
I think Jam's going to come to observe as well, while tending her own wounds.
Do we recognize the other Azadi?
Yeah, when you were collecting your winnings, you saw he was one of the crowd that was speaking angrily to him outside of the arena. There's a couple of parrying blows. Medalla does like a 180 turnaround and plunges the sword upwards into the man's chest, and then pulls the sword out and the body falls on the floor. Medalla takes one step back and holds up his sword, and then says next to the group of men, and one of the men steps forward and undoes his cloak and picks up the dead man's sword, and then they begin to fight.
Do you intend to do anything else?
Do you know the nature of this bout?
I don't.
I would join in, but I don't know if this is a grudge match or not.
It certainly seems to be a duel, but
Of course, it's a grudge match. He just killed his brother.
I don't know what's on the line.
Shiki will walk towards the duel, and right between the two combatants, like, what's going on here?
Step aside, Lord Abbey. This is a matter of honour.
I can tell, but what dishonour has been committed, may I ask? Wasn't the duel inside the arena enough to settle this dispute?
The other man says he must pay for the crimes of his son. These punishments must go answered.
Why is the father responsible for the sins of the son?
Medalla says this is the way.
So what, you must kill 30, 50, 100 great warriors?
Medalla kind of like
To
half
clean your
smiles. It says, actually, it's more like 27.
Would that clean your slate of honor, or would that just spiral more?
The other man just kind of looks at Medalla. It's like, is this weakling going to stand between us all night, or are we going to fight?
Yeah, get back to the fight. You just hear a munch. Razalero just found food somewhere while he's watching.
A bag of dates he's crunching on.
If I were to best you in combat, would you stop this reckless path of revenge?
Man just kind of looks at you. It's like, what sense would that make? We've all seen that you're unwilling to fight in combat anyway.
I'm willing to fight anyone willing to fight me. I'm not willing to fight a coward.
Medalla just like taps
Are
your
you
shoulder.
posing yourself to be a coward?
I am no coward. Medalla like taps your shoulder with his sword, still covered in the man's blood. Please, Lord Abbey. This is the way it has to be. I appreciate your support, but I do not need you here.
I'm not just supporting you, Lord Vidala. I'm supporting this clan, this tribe. Many warriors here will probably die by your hands tonight. And I do not wish to see it, and I don't believe it's for the benefit of you and your people.
The other man just kind of spits and smiles. He's like, you think this?
What benefit would
Do you think
people
this
lose?
traitor, this coward, is going to best all of us? And they all start laughing.
Any of you ever beaten his brother before?
They'll kind of give each other a side eye.
Was he a far weaker warrior than any of you?
Well, no, but
Oh,
He was
don't get him
bested in
wrong.
a single blow.
It's 27
Like,
against 1.
That
Of course they're
means
gonna win.
Medalla is clearly stronger than him, by not even a small margin. Every one of you will be giving up your lives tonight. or at best the overwhelming majority of you, until Medalla is so tired he is not even considered a fair fight. Just dishonorable and disgusting.
Is this you using your?
Charlemagne so exhausted.
Is this you drawing on your vast diplomatic skills to try and convince them to stand down?
Yep, I'm trying to.
So you normally have advantage, but given the nature of it, I'm going to say that gets cancelled out with the disadvantage, so it'd be a regular roll.
Yep. I'm trying to out-logic them with clever. So +1.
Speaking clever to the barbarian, it's always goes well.
Hey, I've already said I will fight them in Medalla's place and best them to spare their lives.
For one reason or another, the man drops his sword and says, "You and your woman here are not worth it. Or you and your worm here are not worth it. You may keep your..." But
Keep our what?
words just completely escaped my brain now.
Just
He
like
just-
me.
I've just saved the lives of 27 Azati warriors.
He just drops it.
And Medalla's one.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of ignoring you. He just like says to Medalla, it's like, you know, you keep your mewling little weakling and hide behind them. You're not even worth the blood spilt. And the other men will just kind of like glare at you all and leave.
I apologize for interfering, Lord Medalla. I just didn't want to see if it's someone I would consider a friend to die in such a dishonorable way,
Dishonorable
or to
way.
have.
You've left me with no honor. I do not even have the glory of reclaiming it in battle.
You can reclaim it in battle. You reclaimed it earlier. You slayed your brother for your honor.
I slew my brother because he killed my son. But I have many debts of honor to repay to my people here for the transgressions that have happened in my name in my absence because of my actions.
And you can reclaim him. You can repay your debt otherwise. You don't need to die tonight for a pointless death. Or kill 27 other men. I wouldn't reclaim yourself, wouldn't redeem yourself. That's just giving up your life. That's giving up. Forfeiting. It's the coward's way out.
There's nothing cowardly about facing up to the debt you owe. I would either best them in
You can
battle
still face
because
up
I'm
to your debt.
superior, or I would die in honor.
You battled for this place. Not to weaken it. That would be dishonor. What if when you go on your travels, this place becomes attacked, and because it lacks 27 strong or more strong warriors, the city gets destroyed? Many innocents might die, because they lack the strength to protect it.
If that is the wish of Armuna, then that is the way it has to be, Lord Abbey. Surely you will not defy the will of the gods that way.
No god would will such a thing.
Then you have not met many gods.
No righteous ones who wish someone to give up their life for nothing.
No,
To
they give up
sacrifice
the.
warriors for no
You're
regard.
acting like the Azadi are your people, like they have the same values you have. You're not even seeing it from his point of view.
I believe he has other better ways to repay for the sins of his son.
And I believe you just made his life here for the rest of his life more difficult than it needed to be.
Medalla is not happy, and he drops his sword. And just like, he knows he can't beat you in a battle of like words, Abby. And perhaps because of that, he kind of like shies away from even attempting it. He just walks away, shaking his head, leaving his sword behind in the sand.
Does he wander back towards the building, or is he just wandering off towards town? Like
Wandering off, he's not going back into the building.
And I'll pick up his sword and
Fast.
stab it into the ground where he left it.
You stab into sand, and the blood runs off of it, trickling into the sand around it.
I'll shout to him before you leave. I know a way you can repay your honor, return your honor, and have a noble, honorable death, if you so want one.
He raises his hand kind of up as he's walking away. Says, "Please, Lord Abbey, no more tonight."
I'll tell you of it tomorrow. A clearer mind.
Raz will just pat Shiki on the shoulder and say, I don't think we're going to see him tomorrow.
Of course we'll see him tomorrow. These people have too much honor not to do what they say.
I'm just like grumbles to herself. You humans do this for fun.
I think you're right.
This is not fun.
Fee, you're
Arthur
still inside the room, right?
No, Fee went out for a drink.
Well, he left before all of us.
Alright, you hit the bar, okay.
Lord Khan, next time you see Medalla, tell him about where the thieves are located. What you told the High Priest.
If you think it'll do any good.
Well, he can take vengeance for what was stolen for his tribe, or die trying.
That's the least of his problems.
That would be a way to redeem his honor.
So, Fee's out feasting. Do the rest of you want to do anything tonight?
Well, the goal was to talk to Jam. That's why I followed out. But I think I got we all got a little sidetracked. Yeah.
Raz is just going to go out partying with, just go out to the festival and party with everyone.
Okay, so Drac, I mean, yeah, you'll be out there with Jam at that point after Raz goes off into town as well.
Yeah, I was gonna talk to her about her problems she clearly has, but I think watching another human slaughter another human is not gonna be beneficial to my conversation. But I'll attempt it, I guess.
I think that's kind of what soured the mood so much to begin with. While she was watching that, she's just trying to deal with her own wounds still. So, along with that, I'll roll to heal myself. And if Drac is just sitting there, she'll just try and patch up what she did to him. So will I roll one for both of them? Or...
Yeah, sure, just roll one. You may as well fail it all at the same time.
Yes. And I'll just do it the medicine anyway.
Oh my god, you're on a roll today.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Because normally I would decline any healing, but I was just gonna let it happen because he's in such a bad mood. I was like, oh God.
Oh no, she's really going to hurt me.
She's approaching with a knife and bandages, which makes it even scarier.
So do you want to roll a 1d4, Jam?
Sure.
Okay, so you'll heal 3 wounds, 3 stress, and all the pain.
Jam,
I feel like it
the
was...
angry healer.
It would give you death more than anything.
That put me at perfect health, by the way.
For once.
So you wanna tell me what that was about?
I don't think I've ever seen you actually give it your all in any of the fights we've been in. Against
Well-
Shiki, you did literally nothing. What are you doing?
Well, you seeing me do anything would go against what I'm trying to achieve. I guess at that point, I will. If no one else is around, I will step into a shadow and like appear beside her or something.
I think
So,
Shiki will still be hanging with you too. Keeping
Well,
an eye, you both.
I'm not as worried about Shiki. I was more worried about Azati.
Fee can't do that as well, can he?
Feet? No, Feet can't do that.
Thought maybe the two of you disappeared together, but
I was like,
so
anybody,
did-
anybody seeing me do anything means I automatically didn't do my job.
why did you even sign up for the contest, knowing that?
Okay,
It
I
would
thought
be-
it'd be against somebody else, and I was just gonna throw the fight. But then when it was against Siki, he had such great odds, I wouldn't have made any money anyways.
And the rest of Raz, Fee, do they already know that you can do that?
No, that'd be against that'd be against the whole point. I don't think you've grasped what we're up against right now.
And the party you left behind before, did they know you could do that?
Yeah, they knew I could do that.
How many of them did you leave alive?
They all died so that I could escape with the tablet.
So don't do that to us, okay?
Well, that's not really my choice.
Try to make it your choice then.
What, stay behind and die with 3 people or save the whole world? I'm supposed to pick stay behind and die?
Stay behind and save people and the bond.
You can't do both. This is not how the world works. It's not always an option.
Sometimes people have to make hard decisions, Melody Jam. We save what we can, but sometimes things don't go that well.
It sounded like I up and left them because we were losing the fight and I was trying to save my life. They sent me away because I had the best chance of getting away.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Out of character, Jam didn't know anything about the previous party, of course.
Right, yeah.
When they met, she knew he had a party before and that they were no longer with him. So she was
Shiki kind of figured out that they were probably dead or something bad had happened and he doesn't want to open up old wounds.
yeah, like, I don't know if you remember the first session, Drakan said he was on his own now,
Yeah.
and Jam just apologised. Because she assumed they were all dead, and up until now, it's been like, well, why are they all dead? Kind of thing.
Or is she thinking maybe they're dead because he didn't do anything? That he
That's the
just let
gist.
die?
That seems to be the gist of, yeah.
In case you're thinking this came out of literally nowhere.
No, I was putting the pieces together like outside of character, but like inside of character, he's not really like the best people person, so just came right out and asked. So like, what's the problem?
It's fine, anyway. I'm sorry for wounding you. What little I managed.
I don't think it was anything for you to worry about. A little scratch, maybe.
She doesn't seem to take that very well either.
You son of a
I'm,
bitch.
I'm just glad
No.
you two aren't fighting anymore, and we can get along with this upcoming battle.
It's whatever Medala's dealing with is a bit more important.
Honestly, we
I
should
don't
have
think
stayed out of that
our
fight.
There's been enough death today. There's been enough tragedy today.
All you did was make
Man's already
everything
lost
worse,
one
though.
son, doesn't need to lose another. When the tribe's already taken a loss, they don't need to lose more.
You're looking at it all the wrong way.
What's the right
It's
way
just
to
the way I
at it?
look at the world.
That's the problem. He's looking at it his way.
I just don't see the need for this pointless death. What's to be accomplished from this? There are other ways you can make up for your sins. You can redeem yourselves. You can aid the clan. You can
Do you think the
letting
Azadi think
everybody
that?
die for nothing.
You're thinking the Azadi think that way. Like, you don't even know how they feel about personal honor. It could mean the most important thing to them.
Sure, but
You're imposing your own
But-
values and thinking they should be living by the same ones.
yes, and it's very arrogant of me. But the great evil is coming. A great war is coming. And the Azoti are powerful warriors.
Even more reason
I
you shouldn't have
just
got
can't think
involved.
what loss to the world it would be.
And what if Mandala wasn't such an honorable person? What if he didn't come and help us tomorrow? And what if his dad also refuses now? What would you do, Siki? How would we get to where we need to be?
Well, I'd ask for another guide.
Who would help us?
Maybe someone of lesser honor, or could request aid from the High Priestess.
You think the High Priestess
again.
would help us after the fiasco today and then whatever might cause some kind of problem with Mandala and his family?
You have a point.
We could always find a way back to the previous town.
That's not the problem. Going back is easy. Going even to where I need to be is easy. But finding information, not so easy. And that's where Mandala is taking us next.
You're right, I may have made a mistake tonight.
Doubtful. The two honor bound to not help us, but something to think about.
He's turned to the sword that was stabbed into the ground and the blood that was dripping off of it. You can just see there's like a swarm of ants crawling over the blood now.
You.
That was all.
If we're setting out tomorrow, we'll need vest anyway. Unless
We're
you two
leaving
have any
tomorrow
other plans.
morning.
Yep. I've had enough of talking to people. No offense.
And then you just hear a
No, you
yell
weren't.
from a window. About time!
Fucking Guntuk somewhere. That's fucking.
Told you I was trying to sleep.
Grintuk is the best.
God.
So is this everyone's retiring tonight, apart from Raz and Fee who go out partying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fee, how much money did you spend at the brothel?
Probably falling asleep at his keyboard.
Oh, sorry. I don't think we would be out taking pleasure from women or feasting too much. He's more of drinking, keeping silent, and when his head clears, he would go to bed. So nothing too spectacular in the brothel.
Sure. Nothing too spectacular. Thought it was going to be a show for the ages. And then Raz, you're not doing anything particular, are you? You're just out enjoying the festivities.
Just partying and drinking.
Sure. Yeah, you all retire for the night, and when you do Medalla, it still hasn't returned. Drac, just as you're kind of like settling into your room, probably checking the corners and everything like you normally do. You turn your back to the plant that's in the corner of the room, which casts a convenient shadow that you've pinpointed yourself. And just in the corner of your eye, you see a figure, not so much step out of the shadow like you do, but as if the whole shadow changes into the form of this thin elvish woman. And you turn around and you recognise the Princess Luna. Hello, Dracan. It's good to see you again. And that's where we'll stop tonight.
Thank God.
I think we probably spent too long.
Damn cliffhangers.
You mean we gotta have more? I gotta have more conversation with people.
More talking.
We're talking to people, yes.
Dragon's at his emotional limit right now.
You just turn over and throw a pillow at the shadow.
It's probably the most brave thing Drakan's ever done. Actually, confess about, the loss of his last party to other people. It wasn't being brave. It wasn't telling a heroic tale or something. It was literally confessing emotions to people.
It was jam. If it wasn't jam, I wouldn't have done it.
I hope I didn't spring on anyone too much.
Sees the healer.
I love that this entire session was all about the party fighting each other and then coming together a bit more at the end. The only one that's kind of went a bit more distant right now is Fee.
I don't know. Fee and Raz got pretty close. They fought each other.
In Vaz books, that's as good as brothers.
Yeah.
But then again, Raz thinks that Fee probably understands that he threw the fight. Where Fee might not realize that Raz threw the fight.
Or Raz doesn't realise that he was going to throw the fight, but Fee kicked his ass anyway.
I love how Fee's fighting for his life while Raz is like, okay, how do I throw this? Shit.
Just gotta find the perfect moment to lose.
That was my plan too, until I was up against s6e, who doesn't attack anybody. So, God damn it.
I have to ask, John, did you plan think that was going to be the outcome of s6e Drakan fight?
No, I did not.
That there's just I literally have two traits that says I cannot attack first in my skill character list.
I thought he'd had done something sneaky to distract you and then got around and did something to you, but no.
Well, you literally everything I could think of was magical related or shadow stepping or
yeah.
I was you just said all that's not. Yeah, that's not.
I feel a little bad because this place specifically strips you of a lot of your stuff to make you do other things. But I also didn't think we would spend nearly as long in this place as we have.
I thought we would only spend the first half here, and then we would go into the desert.
I was like, we're going to spend one session this day, max. And the whole desert thing, I was like, this would be one session.
See, I thought we were going to start straight in the tournament, and then we spent an hour and a half getting to the tournament, but the fights, and I'm like, okay then, so we're going to be here a lot longer than I thought.
It's okay. I like it how the game's turning out so far.
It's going to go at the pace it goes at. You can't rush things.
Yeah. This session was, God, I was dying. So much funny bits.
4 feet. The old lady's out there whipping the saw around.
Yeah, but this campaign is really cool, and we are not leveling up as nearly as fast as we did before, so it's fine.
Good lead on there because you've got to do XP now, so everybody gets an XP.
Yeah.
And then if anyone did a drive,
I got paid.
I didn't get any drives this time.
Does confessing my emotions to her count as redemption?
I guess because you're of what the subject matter you were confessing about, yeah. And opening up. I was going to... do you not get one for learning about cultures, Shiki?
Learn about ancient cultures, so that's like... I wasn't sure because I kind of already knew from the last session about like the war and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm not sure.
So
if it
maybe
could
when,
count this
maybe
time.
once you get out in the desert and it's the actual ruins
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'd assume the next one when we actually see the desert cultures, I would actually
Alright,
get
fair,
it again.
Fair enough, yeah.
Easily. Yeah.
Anyone else get a drive?
Nope, I did not.
Are my drives too simple? Getting money and eating food that I haven't eaten before.
It's not getting money, it's getting paid. Does someone pay you for something?
The bookkeeper.
I don't think that's really pay.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
paid.
it's-
You didn't do a job to get paid. You just like
Alright.
bested in combat. That was more like bartering.
Yeah, the
What about-
winning is not pay.
What about when he got the harpoon? Technically,
That's
he
what we're
fought.
talking about.
Oh,
That's
that
more,
was, I thought you
that's,
were talking about.
that's more just kind of like bartering for it, really.
Gotcha. I thought he was talking about the bet. How you made money.
Did Jam get a drive?
I don't think so, no. I got a bit distracted and didn't talk to
You
the
need-
beast.
You need to put down healing without injuring people as a drive.
What about finding a way to treat your own wounds? How many drives do you have?
I've got one, find a cure for disease, and another, gain power or connections with the intention to eventually help the Feywild.
Yeah, so you really should have talked to the priest.
Yes.
Okay,
But
I mean,
got
The
a
priest is probably not going to be interested in talking to us anymore.
this is
Yes.
this is so true. Get the
Well-
hell out of here!
Jam's one of the few who actually won the fight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
yeah.
maybe.
Well, I mean, they respect doing stuff. So yeah, they can still talk to you, Jam, before you leave. Okay, so overcame a notable enemy or task.
Each other.
I will give you it for the arena, with the exception of Shiki and Jakan.
I can agree to that.
The task was just to fight, and you didn't overcome it.
They overcame it by finding a different.
Literally have two things on my sheet that says I cannot strike first.
Yeah, I know.
Not one,
I know.
two. It's like I just needed him to attack me or do some form of aggression against me. And he's like, I'll stand next to a wall.
You could
I'll
have,
climb up the wall.
You could also have goaded them, taunted them with a flashy thing. But yeah,
Wait a moment.
But that's kind of starting a fight. I can't start a fight. It's pacifist.
yeah, that's
I feel
true.
like you did that to the guys picking fight with Nadala.
Is Shiki a pacifist with a code of honor?
Yes.
Oh wow.
That's why I never start a fight. I never make the first blow. I don't do the first insult ever.
He's pretty
It's
enough.
like someone has to do something.
Okay, anyway, so
You called me a coward, but
party learned something new about one of their characters or the world.
Some of them did, I suppose.
Who did we learn about?
No. Me and Jam learnt about Drakan's past.
Okay, so that counts. Everybody gets an XP for that. Because it's
We
a party
also all,
thing.
we also all kind of learned about Mandela's son. We didn't learn the whole truth, but something's going on.
I'm not sure if that counts as the world, but maybe. But you're going to get it for the other thing anyway, so.
Yeah.
And then nominations for people who did something awesome.
We got
Grantuk.
Grantuk. We got Fee beating Mazarulo.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I did like that Fee beating up Reslero.
Okay,
I like the fact that Jam just got angry and started a fight like out of the left field.
I like that as well. That was so unexpected.
I love Raz just going around the town fighting everybody. That was hilarious.
So Raz, Fee, Jam.
I think it's awesome how Jokan and Shiki did not fight.
Stuck
that
to
was
their
great.
principles, played the character.
Yeah,
It's both awesome and terrible at the same time, that.
Especially
it was very
how,
funny. Yeah,
like Shiki just refused to come back in disguise
Yeah.
to wear his
Yes.
regular clothes.
My
Well,
favorite
I
was how
started like it
Draken
immediately.
almost lost every single bet he made.
Yes, God.
Yes.
I changed my mind at the last minute, last second. I'm going to. I was like,
Imagine not betting on Grintook, come on.
look,
What is he bet like 3 times and changed his bet last minute like 3 times?
It's
No,
a death match.
that
Grintook's
was-
not going to lose a death match.
that's the first time I changed the bet. But like, I bet, and then in my head, I was like, wait, he's been trying to kill off these NPCs every chance he gets. So I was like, maybe he's gonna kill them off right here. So I changed my bet, and nope.
See, that was where you went.
I
wrong
actually
with your
did think John
metagaming.
was going to kill Grintook there. I'm not going to lie.
Well,
That's what
I
I get for using outside knowledge.
I considered it because obviously I was like, well, the stakes are real at least, and that's what's important.
I feel like, I mean, maybe not, but it seems like you kind of have fun with Gintook. And
obviously.
he just kind of pisses off when you don't want him around. So I thought he probably would live. I didn't want to bet on it.
You weren't willing to bet on it, that's the thing.
I feel like Grintook's not going to die until Razaloro dies.
Okay, so everyone got XP for that one, and I think Grintook might level up soon.
Level.
Alright, so do I need to add more modifiers to my companions page, or does Grintook just get his own character sheet?
I'm not doing him a full-fledged character now, he won't level up. Has anyone got a level up now though?
Yeah, I was only 1 XP away, so I was able to get it this session.
Yeah, I can
I
level
leveled
up.
up last session, so
Do you know what you are going for this time?
I was thinking, since I already have 2 martial arts and the change in Feast's personality and his fighting style, this session, I may be thinking about adding a tag, Master in Martial Arts. He's slowly becoming his master of his own, with his own values, with his own perception at the world. So maybe adding a tag that, let's say on 12 or higher rolls, I can strike again. His technique is to be nimble and throw as many punches or strikes as possible.
What about if you get a 12 or greater? If the foe is not more powerful than you, you can choose to do a killing blow.
That sounds good. That sounds good. But I'll think more till the next section. Yeah.
Fee, did you want to see what I had for some of Jeff's chi abilities?
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm looking for some inspiration regarding martial arts, chi, that kind of stuff.
The other side of chi is like regenerative abilities as well, not just offensive ones.
Yeah, like most of Jeff's were about moving around without getting hit or getting away from enemies without anything in the way blocking him.
Did Jam have a level up, or did you do it last time?
I've only had 1 level up, and I just put 1 into quick.
Okay.
I
the
forget what
Jam's
it
now
was.
like 1 session behind, so
Was it level times 2 plus 7, or?
Yeah.
So I think I'm still a wee while off.
Double
it's
your
11
current
XP total.
double your current level plus 7.
Yeah.
How does learning spells work if you're learning them that aren't within your school?
Do you just do them as normal?
Well, I didn't know if it took took extra. I know when you love when you make a character, it takes extra to pick up spells outside of your school.
No, that's just a creation.
Okay, so after that, it doesn't matter as much.
Okay. I guess if that's everyone, then we're done for tonight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
well-
that one, even though we didn't really go anywhere. That was fun.
Oh, this one was hilarious again. 2 weeks in a row, I've just been dying of laughter at these sessions.
I was debating whether I needed to go for a killing blow on Fee or not.
Somebody would just take over Green Took.
As I said, the Roll20 is like, it was such a comedic event, and then it just ends in dark tragedy. It's like somber mood.
Yeah, like after the music stopped popping, it's like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna see you next week.
Yep. See you later, guys.
You know, like,
Later.
See you next week.